G'day D-Live! Welcome back to the Gives a Minute D-Live stream for a Wednesday afternoon affair. It has just gone 3 minutes past 3 in the PM for me. Good morning, good afternoon, good day, good evening to you, whatever the time it is, wherever you're consuming this content. You're always welcome right here on the Gives a Minute D-Live stream. Looking into the chit chat, I see Hendrik, I see Black as Pills, I see Zookski, I see Shiloh Rose, I see Blop Jones, I see Safe, I see Not a Globe, I see Davo, I see 8 crew, and therefore 8 freaking cheerses, because everyone gets a cheers when they join the Gives a Minute D-Live stream chit chat. This glass, that microphone, when they touch, somehow, for some freaking reason, that represents the cheers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8 cheerses. And the little beards is in there as well. 8 beardses, cheerses, eardses. In the chit chat, Hendrik with a sticker. Black as Pills. This is the end of last stream. Later, folks. Zookski Night All. Shiloh Rose with a sticker. Blop Jones with an emote. Safe. Yo, Benon. Yo, Safe. How you doing, man? Something's going wrong here. Something's going wrong. Hold on 1 second. The cache of the viewers watching isn't refreshing. I can see the numbers in the restream and it doesn't match here, so therefore refresh properties. Refresh cache of current pages. Still says 2. Okay. Not a Globe with 4 lemons. Thank you, Not a Globe. Safe with a little sticker. Yo, Davo with the lemon. Thank you, Davo. Davo, hey bro. G'day, Givster. Rob Mac. How you doing, man? Good to see you, Rob Mac. Those are bed sheets. Yes, they are. Folks, welcome to another Wednesday cryptocurrency stream. The title of this stream: why does total energy from frozen TRX keep changing? Now, if you're watching this on YouTube or you're watching on the replay somewhere else, here's the thing. I don't know why that happens. That's why I'm doing this stream. I want to find out. Mayonnaise! Wow! Who did that? Rob Mac, thank you for the ice cream and lemons. Cheers, my friend. Davo, you're funny with the stickers, Gives. Well, the way I see it, someone comes into the chat, they don't say anything, and they put a sticker, I'll do the same. I know the answer. I don't want to spoil it now. Oh, Safe, do you know the answer? Okay, let me just give the preamble, but then if you can explain it, that'd be terrific, because that would put a cap in that straight away. You need a requirement of certain amount of frozen TRX to transact. Now, this comes to head when you're doing multiple transactions, say on bankroll.network, or let's just say, and this is on the Tron blockchain, and let's say you're staking BTT into, I don't know, D-Live. You're gonna need frozen TRX, which gives you energy. Now, the value of the required frozen amount, the value of the energy you needed to not burn TRX, if you didn't have enough frozen TRX, I got to be clearer. If you didn't have enough energy because you hadn't frozen enough TRX and you had left your TRX in liquid form, well, you would burn all the energy you had, and then you would also burn liquid TRX. So I didn't like that I was essentially wasting TRX every time I transacted. So I wanted to get my level of energy to the requirement, and D-Live, I'm not too sure if this is the same with Bankroll, we'll find out today, but D-Live required 120,000 energy minimum to get that to the point where you'd only burn energy, you wouldn't burn liquid TRX. And so with the help of CompTech and Safe last week, and also me kicking in some as well, we managed to, and by the way, extreme generosity from CompTech and Safe. Safe dropped me some ETH and CompTech dropped me a bunch of TRX to get that level up. I then went off stream and bought some more and got it to over 120,000 energy. Frozen. I was like, oh, okay, sweet. This is the first time I've ever had 120,000 energy. So now whenever I transact on DLive, in terms of staking, all I got to do is wait a day or two until that energy restocks itself, and then I can go and do my bankroll stuff and never lose TRX. And then I sheet you not, the very next day I came in there, my energy had gone from 120,000 down to 80,000. And I was like, what? Isn't the idea of freezing TRX so you get a frozen value in terms of energy? How can the energy change if it's frozen? I don't know what the answer is here, but Safe does, so I'm stoked. or any TRC20 token when you're exchanging on that blockchain, right? How was your day, Gibbs? My day was fine, Davo. How was yours? Nice of you to ask. Do you get something out of DLive BTT staking? I did. I got $30,000 US. So yeah, I did. I'm restaking now from the base level. I've got about 1.8 mil BTT staked on DLive. And if BTT starts mooning again, like I think it came up to didn't it get to a cent or something? Yeah, I did definitely cashed out there. But that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, okay, so let's go and have a look. Let me just give you a preamble about what else we're going to look at today on the stream. After we've sussed out this TRX frozen energy saga, we're going to have a look at Sportymon Go, $S Go. This is something that these are all viewer requests. You guys have asked me about these crypto coins, tokens, assets, whatever you want to call it, stories. This is one of them, Sportymon Go. Then we're going to have a look at the IX blockchain and their token RLC. I've got a few videos. I don't know about this. I don't know anything about it. We're going to look into it. We're going to learn. Then someone put in the Discord a live stream by this Yahoo, Crypto Banter, Raoul Pal, the beginning of the biggest altcoin shift in 2021. Shocking. And you Yahoos all said I should take a look at that. That's a 50-minute stream, so we will look at that. And I gotta say, that'll probably take out our stream. But that's what we're going to be doing on this stream. If you're interested in cryptocurrency, you're interested in learning about cryptocurrency, even the most basic form of learning, you're welcome to do it here with me. Now, I am restreaming this out across the stratospheric, international, global pandemic machine internet to Facebook's, YouTube, Twitch, Trovo, and Bitwave. The thing is, if you are watching there, I won't be killing those restreams. Oh, well, I'll probably kill the Facebook one because I don't give a flying rat's about Facebook, but I'll keep everything else up. Thing is, if you're engaging in those chats, I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. I've only got one chat, and this is the chat here on DLive. So if you're chatting to me over there, I just don't see it. This is the chat screen I've got. Here it is. Bam, bam, bam. I'm listening to that chat only. So if you want to converse with me and you want to be in that chat, tinkle, 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 tinkle. And that translates very loosely to dlive.tv/givesaminute. If you want to partake in this stream, you want to learn, you want to contribute, you want to slap me around the head, tinkle, 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 tinkle translates to dlive.tv/givesaminute. If you want to partake and enjoy, you want to join this very conversation, that's where you can do it. I see the numbers here on the restream, but I don't see a chat. I only see this chat. I'd love you to be a part of it. Come on down, dlive.tv/givesaminute. You know the dealio. You got to have a look at Century mining on Tron at Sun.io. Okay, well, that's brand new news as well. So what I'll do is I'll actually put that in Sun.io. I'll bring that in over the top here in front of that long live stream, because I don't know about this, but we did watch. We watched the Justin Sun stream on DLive. I think we watched it on Friday. Yeah. So he talked a little about sun.io, and I guess I'd like to learn a little more about that too, so we will. But let's have a look at what I'm talking about. Let's go to my... that translates to bankroll.network. Let's go over here. This is the Brave browser. You'd be wanting to use the Brave browser if you want to get paid for doing the internet machine. If you want to get paid for doing the internet, you want to be using the Brave browser, folks. You get paid in basic attention token just for using it. Simply for using it. Not staking, not looking at anything, just using it. Now, fair play, there are ads which you can just click off them, but how about that? Tell me this. Does anybody know how to use the internet without using a browser? Anybody? Anybody out there? Anybody use the internet without a browser? Anybody? Someone's going to say, yeah, I'm a torrenter. Okay, fair enough. If you're searching and you're translating and you're transmogrifying across the internet, you're going to need a browser. You might as well use one that pays you. I got news for you. This one's it. The Brave browser. Get on it. Do you have enough TRX frozen and non-frozen? Let's have a look. Safe, that's what I want to do here. So let's open up my Tronlink wallet ski. Here it comes. A little series of dots here to get in, folks. If you're looking to hack my password, just put that amount of dots in. You're in. Bam. Whoopsie! I put the wrong dots in. Don't do that. You want to put the right dots in, folks. Oh, shit. Ooh, wow. Who did that? Blackest Pills, how you doing, man? And now, this is all frozen. Let me refresh that browser. Oh, wow, look at my Tronlink. Whoopsie, get out of there. Blackest Pills, how you doing, man? Good to see ya. Hello, all, hello. 3 Moons, how you doing, man? 3 Moons, how you going, buddy? A flood of information is coming. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, these streams really do get my head and my brain pumping. Account unlock failed, wrong password. That's twice now. What's going on here? What's going on here? Let me refresh the browser. Good to be here. Thank you, Blackest Pills. Why would this be the wrong password? Let me see. Let me see. Wow! Bingo. I must have been typing it wrong twice. A little frightening. Geranism. Yo, Geranism. My Eunice, wow! Thank you for the ice cream, dude. So, I don't know how well you can see this because the graphical user interface is not scalable, I don't think. No, it's not. Everything else behind it is. But the font is kind of small. But my energy is full. It's maxed out at 79,241. Geranism, thanks for following the Gives a Minute DLive stream. Now that makes you the latest giver right here on the channel. Now why would this make you a giver? Allow me to explain. You see, you're giving me your time to consume the content, whereas me, I'm a giver because I'm giving you my time to create the content. And so you see how we're both givers here, and this is a two-way street. But you're the latest giver on the Gives a Minute DLive stream. Thanks for the follow. So this is my frozen balance, 79,241. 70 only. Last cryptos. Dude, safe. I had that at 120,000. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand what's going on here. I had that at 120,000. It's 79,000 now. My bandwidth is maxed out at 5,000. My available TRX unfrozen, my liquid TRX is 151, and this hasn't changed. I genuinely don't understand how this is happening. Like, what's going on here? Why does energy that comes from frozen TRX disappear? I literally got that to 120. I was stoked. I was like, hell yeah! Finally got 120,000. And now we can party on the blockchain and not pay any TRX. Awesome. And now, 79,000. One thing can explain it. Explain away safe, because I'm baffled by that. And also, I'm reluctant to do a bankroll transaction here. I'm reluctant to do a transaction here on bankroll. If I don't know if I've got enough. Like literally, it's the Century mining. I'm not involved in that though. I'm not involved in Century mining. Geranism, thanks for the sub, man. I appreciate that, dude. I really do appreciate you. Thank you for subbing, man. Very kind of you. Man, holy crap. That microphone's freezing. Have you guys used one of these microphones? That's really cold. Wow, that's weird. It's like almost ice cold. Ice cold vocals
In the house, ice cold, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, okay, so Century mining, not you, but because of the Century mining, the amount of energy you get changed the whole math on the energy equation. Is that, I'm assuming you're going to put the word equation at the end there. Is that what you're saying? So this is simply coincidental that it happened last week when I finally achieved 120,000 frozen energy. And it just happens to be that that's when Sun.io launched the mining. Damn, man, that's depressing. Well, let's see what happens here. Let's roll over my bankroll dividends, which we didn't do last week because we didn't have enough. Let's go to Stronghold. This is the big one. My divs on Stronghold. But the actual Century mining is good. Okay, well, I'm keen to learn. So I've rolled over 17 times here. I've got $29 in TRX ready to roll. Let's see what this does to my energy balance, and let's see what it does to my... what was that noise? Let's see what it does to my available TRX liquid. I'm going to take a screenshot of this. I got 159.079966. I want to see if this burns any. So let's roll this shizzle over here. We're going to roll the divs from 17 to 18. Let's check the transaction on Tronscan here. Let us... doesn't open it up in a new tab. Awesome. It'll probably take all the energy and at least 3 to 5 TRX. No way, dude. That's hideous. It did, man. It consumed 111,000 energy. This sucks, man. I just got to 120 and now I'm burning TRX again. What a crock. What a crock of shit. Look at that. I'm down to 31 energy. How much TRX did that take? Yep. Far out. This sucks, right? This is shit. This is shit. Seriously, I just got 120,000 energy to not burn TRX, and here we are, a simple transaction like that on bankroll, and I burnt it all. Unbelievable. So basically, what that tells me is if we didn't put 120 in, we'd probably be down to... Welcome to the new Tron fees. Yeah, this is great. If it wasn't for the generosity of Comptech last week to get this frozen balance to 4,351 or short of that, because I did add some myself, we would have only had, out of 79,000, we probably would have had 30,000, and we would have burnt probably 20 TRX. This sucks, man. This sucks. So now any transaction I do on any TRC20 on Tron is going to cost me 5 to 10 TRX. That's I almost want to just go family I want to go MTAG so I can cuss here, because this is when I would cuss. Where's that screenshot? How much TRX did I have here? So I had 151. liquid. Now I've got 146. Go to MTag, but then I get off the wheel and just when you think you're getting above things, someone comes to knock you down, right? And in this case, it's Justin Sun with his new fees. What do we get for that? But by the way, what do these new fees equate for me? How does this benefit me? So we're paying more. What are we getting? Simple transaction, simple question there. We're paying more. What are we getting? You said that I should have a look at Sun.io and the mining. We're getting nothing. And no information, like no pop-up saying, oh, by the way, your total amount of TRX is that your total energy from frozen TRX. It's such a nightmare to even consider how this all works. Your energy value from the total frozen TRX, which you used to have as liquid, is now less. Not even a mention of that. Just, oh, it's gone. Oh yeah, that's gone. Awesome. Thanks, Justin. Awesome work, dude. Justin Sun, you nailed it. So what, now I gotta go and buy more TRX? Is that what is, like, I've got to go and buy TRX to get that up to equate to 120,000. Otherwise, every time I want to roll over my stakes on DLive, it's going to cost me TRX. Yeah, this guy. Can't take him anywhere, can you, Mr. Sun? But if you think about it, that's why TRX and BTT pumped up. Why? What am I missing? Why did it pump up? The new fees? TRX and BTT haven't been pumping. That was ages ago, dude. That was months ago. So I'm just annoyed, right? I'm annoyed simply because I just got there. Like, I've been burning TRX every week, and I had just got to that point where I wasn't burning anymore. And now I'm burning it again because they changed the fees. People now hold TRX so it has more value, same with BTT. But the value's dropped, dude. The value of BTT has dropped since it mooned late last year, or what was it? What are we now, June? Whenever it mooned, it's dropped since then, dude. It hasn't gone up. Not a globe. Can you send your TRX and BTT to an outside wallet? This is an outside wallet. This is an outside wallet. The Tronlink isn't an exchange, dude. This is an outside wallet. But you can send it wherever you want. But then whenever you want to transact on like whenever I want to do, because I've got dividends in Bankroll, right? And quite a good package, right? Quite a good amount of dividends there every week. But what I'm saying is, every time I went to roll those divs over to reinvest, I was burning liquid TRX. The only way not to do that is to obtain enough TRX and freeze it into the system. So essentially you're staking it, I guess. You're freezing it in, saying, yeah, okay, I'm willing to put all that in frozen to not be able to transact with it, not be able to trade with it, and then I'll be able to transact and not burn liquid TRX. I'll only use that frozen, because that frozen value, my frozen value right now is at an all-time low, right? So if we go back over here, so yeah, my energy, sorry, I keep saying frozen. My energy is down to 310 out of 79,000. That's this bar here, this bar went straight down to 0 because you're burning energy to make the transaction. What I'm saying is you needed to have a certain amount of energy, because once you've burnt all your energy, you then start consuming your liquid TRX. So I needed to have a certain number of energy, a certain value, and it turned out to be 120,000. And you get that by freezing a certain amount of TRX, which I just finally achieved. Where's Waldo with the follow? Hey, Where's? Thanks for following the Gives a Minute DLive stream. Now that makes you the latest giver right here on the channel. Now, why would this make you a giver? Well, let me explain. You see, you're giving me your time to consume the content, whereas me, I'm a giver because I'm giving you my time to create the content. And so you see how we're both givers here, and this is a two-way street. But you're the latest giver on the Gives a Minute D-Live stream. Thanks for the follow. So let me ask you this, Safe. What do I need to buy? How much TRX have I got to buy to get back to 120,000? So we just burnt... We burnt 4.4 TRX. Consume energy. So I'm gonna need it. I need at least 120,000. So where's that? You had a little calculator, a TRX calculator or something? Energy calculator? Energy calculator? TRX, I think you had that last week, Safe. I remember you did a little calculation. Tron Station? Tronstation.io calculator. This could be it. Energy calculators. This could be it. Let's get rid of that little screenshot. Let me have a look. Yeah, thanks, man. I think this is it. If this is it, this looks like it. If this is it, please let me know. Yeah, this is it. Energy by freezing TRX. 1 TRX equals that. So how much have I got? Because I might just go and buy some, right? I mean, that's the only way out of this. Funnily enough. So let me bring up a calculator. Here's a calculator over here, skis. So I've got 79. I need 120,000. So 120,000 with 1, 2, 3 zeros minus 79,242. I need to buy 40,000. So I need to buy, let's just call it 41,000. Let's just call it 41,000. I need about 41,000 energy. So energy by burning, hang on, energy by freezing. Energy by freezing 2, I need 220, 200, 2,000. I'm gonna need about... Yo, Charlinus, thanks for following the Gives a Minute D-Live stream. Now that makes you the latest giver right here on the channel. Now, why would this make you a giver? Well, let me explain. You see, you're giving me your time to consume the content, whereas me, I'm a giver because I'm giving you my time to create the content. And so you see how we're both givers here, and this is a two-way street. But you're the latest giver on the Gives a Minute D-Live stream. Thanks for the follow. Charlinus. So this looks about right here, doesn't it? Safe. That's going to give me energy by freezing TRX. If I froze 2,500 TRX, I would receive 45,000, which is going to put me over the amount that I need. So then, okay, so let's do this. Then the next thing I could suggest is, I do have BTT here. Is this enough BTT? How much? No, that's not enough BTT. I was going to say, could I spend my BTT on... If I spend all this BTT, 630... How much is TRX priced at the moment? Coin market cap. How much is TRX at this particular juncture? TRX. Whoops. How many do I need again? 2,500, right? Yeah, 2,500. So 2,500 to 5. I need 180 bucks. So not quite. 180 bucks US to buy that much Tron. Not quite enough here in my BTT stash, being that at $2.21. Okay. And is it a good time to be buying TRX? Let's have a look at the 7-day chart. Okay. Arguably not the greatest time. Month chart. Okay, so it's been pretty consistently for quite a while. And this is the spike that we talked about before. Well, that was TRX, but BTT also spiked around the same time. Right here, yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to buy 2,500. Dude, I just did this last week. This kills me, right? Or could I pull some TRX out of bankroll? Do I have enough TRX to pull out of here? Hang on a second. What about out of the lousy one that's not earning me anything? So stockpile's earning me nothing really. This one is pretty lousy. Let's have a look. You just rolled your stronghold. Yeah, let's go stockpile. So I have total stockpile of 138. I can never work this out, dude. So buy amount TRX, 1 TRX equals 2.4 stock. So if I put, I've only got $4 in there. Is that all that is? Is that equal to $4? One stock equals $4, but I have 138 stock. Is that what you're saying? 138 by 4. That's enough, right? I wouldn't mind pulling this out. I'll lose the 10%, of course. You have 138 stock, and that's only worth $4? Oh, okay. Okay, so that doesn't mean one stock is worth $4. That means 138 stock is worth $4. God. Okay, it's not worth doing, right? Where do you get that information from, though, Safe? Like, where does it say that? Stock equals $4.38. Total stock. It's the total amount of everything. Same with stronghold. So in that regard, my stronghold so I got $1,000 in stronghold. 1,100. But in stockpile, how can that be? Because no, that can't be right, man. We didn't invest such a small amount. I didn't invest like $1 into stockpile. Yeah, your total stronghold is worth about $1K. Are you sure that's right, dude? Because we wouldn't have put such a small amount in. I don't think. How could that be if I've rolled over 67 TRX? How can that be, man? If 67 TRX have been rolled over here. We didn't put anything into stockpile? Yeah, we did, I thought. Total rolled, that doesn't make sense, because like... Okay, so 67 Tron is worth $4.85. Right, I see what you're saying. Okay, I see what you're saying. Look at the APY here, 9.9%, 9.6%. Okay, so there's no chance I can Scarange. I can't get any. There's nowhere I've got any, and I don't have any in. By the way, let me show you this. Hi Tron. Let me show you Hi Tron, because everybody's been saying how it's a scam and how it's not working. Mine works. So I've got 209 TRX building up here. Mine works, but I know everybody's been saying how it's not working for them. Mine's working fine. Touch wood. Touch wood, it stays working. So I don't have enough there. I'm gonna need. How many am I gonna need again? Yeah, not enough. So I'm gonna need 2,500. Okay, so maybe I'll do this off stream later on tonight. I'll go and buy some more. I'm just thinking, where have I got the money to do that though? Because I got my car insurance due this month. What a crock. Anyway, I'll think about this off stream, but let's leave that there. But hang on a second, Safe, let me ask you this. If the number can change just like that, isn't that going to happen again? Do it next month, but then I won't be able to stake anything. I won't be able to roll my stakes on DLive. You know what? I should do it next month. I should do this at least once my car insurance is done, right? You know, they always say don't invest anything you can't afford to lose, and that at this particular point, Steve Ann's rego just came in yesterday, and it went up as well. Can you believe it? $547. That's just the registration. Then I've also got to get a insurance policy, which will be about another $400. Then I've also got to get an inspection from a motor mechanic. That'll be about $80. So we're not looking at any change from $1,000 to get Steve Ann back on the road for another year. But I'm doing it. But I guess that's probably, I should be smart, because that's come in. That means I can't. And just because this crap happened at the same time, and I'm thinking I should try to minimize my loss by freezing some more, I can't afford it. That's proof of it. So I'm just going to leave it and say, okay, well, we burn a little TRX. We burn a little. I do get a little TRX in these faucet stuff like this crap, so change the number of what? Change the number of what? Melbourne Doug, how you doing, man? How you doing, Melbourne Doug? Change the number of what? Change the number. I'm not sure what that is in reference to. Change the number of what? I'm not sure what you're asking there. Did I say change the number of some sort? You know, I'd recommend doing your rolls monthly instead of weekly. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that's a fair point. Right. Okay. So, all right. Okay. New system. But hang on. It's only bankroll that require. Oh no, it was DLive. Okay. What I will do. I will wait and see what happens. Once this energy and bandwidth gets back up to the max, I will go into DLive and I'll do a roll there and see if that requires, because DLive might require, it says approximately 120, but it might not require 120. I don't know, you say, would this keep, yeah, okay, so what would keep changing? What would the frozen energy keep changing? If I go and buy more now, which I'm not, I'll do it next month after the car rego, and I get it back to 120, could it then change again the week after and drop back down to 80 or something? Alcoholic with the follow. Alcool. Thanks for following the Gives a Minute DLive stream. Now that makes you the latest giver right here on the channel. Now, why would this make you a giver? Well, let me explain. You see, you're giving me your time to consume the content, whereas me, I'm a giver because I'm giving you my time to create the content. And so you see how we're both givers here, and this is a two-way street. But you're the latest giver on the Gives a Minute DLive stream. Thanks to follow. Oh yeah, it would. So it will keep changing then. So there's no way. I mean, to be frank, that's $325 US in TRX that's sitting in there. Are you telling me you're going to need to put more than that? That's almost getting up to the height of like Ethereum blockchain fees, right? Do we need to keep going higher? Are you going to need $600 in frozen TRX to transact without burning it? It seems like it's just a little bit overpriced. For getting nothing in return, that's definitely overpriced. But you're right, I will do all of my rolling monthly, but I will do D-Live weekly at this particular point. You need at least 10k TRX frozen once a day to roll on bankroll. Dude, is that how much people are playing with? Like 10 grand? Man, I'm such a small player at that point. I didn't think it was that big. Wow. The world of crypto, welcome you little scallywags, I'm going to say. I don't know why I'm going to say scallywags. All right, well, I mean, yeah, I'm not doing it this month. I'll look into it next. I'll finalize all this crap, and then I'll look into that next month. Either 10k frozen or some frozen and some liquid. Right, yeah. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. I'll pull out of that at the moment. So what we'll do now, we'll take a slight break. When we come back, we will get into the content. Sportymon Go. Someone told me to look at Sportymon Go. We're going to look at IX blockchain with their coin RLC token. Before we do any of that, we will look at sun.io. What I recommend is that you look at your divs but not roll on it. Oh wow, take a look at them? That'll be teasing me though. I'll be like, oh, that's not compounding if I don't roll it. But I think you're right anyway, because I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm definitely not doing it weekly. We'll definitely go to monthly, right? The first cryptocurrency stream of the month, we'll roll out divs. But folks, I want to go and grab a coffee. I'm going to end the restream on Facebook. I'm going to keep everywhere else going. Have I got time to run out and grab a coffee while you watch yesterday's surfing? Because there was no surfing today. It's a very short clip. I got to get a head start here. Enjoy the surfing.
And welcome back to the super quick wave a day, and it's... Hello? Hello? Hello, swell? Hello? No swell. None. Can't hear a thing. Can't see a thing. I went surfing. There wasn't much to be seen, much to be ridden, much to be engaging. It just wasn't much. Mind you, I did manage at least one semi-decent, I think. What do you think? Well, good morning, Tuesday. Gotta tell you, this looks lousy. It's cold and lousy.
Another week, in another year, I'm sailing with another me and another you and another we. I'm waving at another place, at another time, in another.
Is that all? Is that the wave for today?
And another boat with a rock and a sling. I'm sailing, I'm not waiting, I'm not sailing, I'm not waiting, I'm not sailing, I'm not waiting, I'm not sailing, I'm not waiting.
Well, okay. I just finished dissing it. The first wave saying, that's all I'm gonna get. And then that one came through. That was all right. Kind of. Is that the best we're gonna get? Maybe.
Sailing, run, I'm sailing, pushing through the storm, swallowed by the sea, drifting into the sun. I'm sailing, I'm not waiting.
What a shame. Nicer size wave. Just no face to ride. Bye-bye.
I'm not waiting, I'm not sailing.
got my last save and then I realized, hey, it ain't even worth standing up on.
Oh yeah? What do you say? What do you know? What do you think? What do you do? Did that work? Did that one? Was that okay? That one in there? The rest was absolutely garbage. Well, what can you do? Pull a rabbit out of a shoe? I didn't do much. I'll tell you what though, while I sit down and think about what I'll do tomorrow, you guys can go back to the live stream.
You guys are back? Yeah, family friendly. Got myself a coffee. Put my sweater back on. Nice and warm. This should be good. Let's have a look at sun.io. Now, what are we looking at here, Safe? Century Mining, right here in the center. What is Century Mining? Century Mining. Tron Bull brings in the year's first bounties, big earns with no losses. Stake and mine for a fat Tron gift bag. Total staked value, mining rules. Okay. So what are we looking at here? Mining rules. Century Mining. These are all previous campaigns, right? Ended. All of them ended. They've all ended. Okay. Century Mining is over. Alcohol. Alcoholic. I gotcha. Yeah, why are we looking at this, Safe? Safe suggested we look at this. Sun.io Century Mining. It's over. Looks like it. New. Sun platform is upgraded into Tron's first one-stop platform that supports stablecoin swap, token mining, and self-governance. Mine now. Just Lend is the current. Well, Safe suggested we look at this. So at this stage, if Safe doesn't come back, we might just give this a miss. Let's move on and have a look. Someone linked me this. Sportymon Go. $SGO, the billion-dollar game changer. CoinGecko listed tech rate audit 64 million market cap, 8 days old. Sorry, this post has been removed by the moderators. Your post has been removed not because there was anything wrong with it, but rather general housekeeping. Moonshot Monday entries are now closed. What? Who linked me this? Good project. I'll become a millionaire by the end of the year. You and me both. Sportymon Go. Let's have a look what this is. Let's go to YouTube. Sportymon Go. 1 day ago. Let's take a look at this.
What is up, YouTube? It's your boy James Hansen Official here, back again for another video. And today I want to talk about Sportymon Go. This project just released a week ago, and their focus is on NFTs. You heard it right, NFTs. For those of you that are in the crypto community, NFTs are a major opportunity right now in the crypto space that focus on buying and selling digital collectibles. With that being said, Sportymon Go is a new crypto platform that focuses on NFTs primarily in the professional sports industry, such as MLB, Major League Soccer, and the NBA. With that being said, that is
hate the way this
huge
guy
because
talks.
A lot of athletes right now are starting to transition into NFTs because of the major market opportunity they present for business. Sportsmon Go has a very similar business model to Pokemon Go, but this time they're focusing primarily on your favorite athletes, such as LeBron James, Cristiano Ronaldo, and other professional big-time players. Sportsmon Go will primarily focus on you collecting your favorite athletes via NFTs. So, for example, if you're a Real Madrid fan and you happen to be by the Real Madrid Stadium, you can go on Sportsmon Go and interact and find what NFTs are available within that area, giving you an opportunity to buy, sell, hold, and sell later in the future. This is huge because a lot of professional athletes have now been looking at business opportunities in the digital collectible space. Sportsmon Go is currently sitting at a $32 million market cap. When they first launched, they consolidated down to $8 million, and within a week, they shot up to $40 million, and now they're sitting at $32 million. So if you would have got in about a week ago, it 5x to its all-time high. Major players in the community are saying that this is a $500 million company, so a mid-cap company. So from here until $500 million, this is about a 25x. But to be honest with you, after my own due diligence and my own research and looking into the team of developers, this has potential to be a $1 billion market cap company. So getting in right now would offer you a 50x return on your investment. Once again, this is not financial advice. I always recommend you do your own research and due diligence. With that being said, let's take a look at the website and in the charts. All right, what is up, guys? So I am on the Sportsmon Go website. As you can see here, I have my phone sideways, so the website is a little disoriented. But hey, let's move on and let me give you a brief rundown on the website and what they're really about. So here on About Us, Sportsmon Go was founded in 2021 by Ricky and Corey Jackson with illustrious backgrounds in sports and marketing and sporting software. The pair envisioned the creation of a platform to stand as a world premiere in NFT augmented reality sports trading. With the purpose to revolutionize both the gaming and NFT collectibles industry, Sportsmon Go will enable its users to hunt and collect NFTs of their favorite sporting heroes in both the real world and in real time, creating the perfect synergy between our current world and the metaverse. Participants will be able to interact at stadiums and sporting events like never before. Sportsmon Go is funded solely through its own cryptocurrency, a BIP20 token leveraging a smart contract on the Binance blockchain network. This native cryptocurrency will power the entire economy within the platform, allowing users to purchase NFTs.
If I understand correctly, you'd be investing in the token, and the token would have value because of the amount of trading of the NFTs. To break it right down.
Collectibles from their ultimate team, participate in mini games, earn rewards, and much more. Like I mentioned earlier, guys, this is a $1 billion game changer because a lot of athletes are transitioning into the NFT space due to the major business opportunity. So founders Ricky and Corey have had previous partnerships with major brands such as Coca-Cola, UEFA Champions League, the Olympics, Unibet, PlayStation, and ESPN. So guys, this is huge because they are well connected and they have a great network and are looking to expand their business. With that being said, let's take a little look at this clip, their advertising clip.
Welcome to Sportamon Go.
God.
We're the Pokemon Go of the sporting industry, set to revolutionize the sports and gaming sectors, bridging the two industries and making the sector more dynamic and engaging both in and out of the stadium. Users will be rewarded with Sportamon tokens, with chances to meet their sporting heroes, and much, much more. Pokemon Go generated $1.2 billion in revenue in 2020, with over 150 million active users. Gaming and sports is a trending scene in crypto, and we're poised to be the pioneering force in this movement. The Sportamon Go app is the first stage of this vision. We will be building an NFT platform to trade rare sports trading cards, as well as forging partnerships with the largest sports clubs globally. With our deep connections, over 30 years experience, in the billion-dollar market which we fit into, we aim to cement Sportamon Go as a true household name. Sportamon Go will disrupt the sports gaming industry as you know it today. Join our team. Welcome to Sportamon Go.
Doesn't really sell it to me.
record. Within the website, they have their direct links to their LinkedIn. So like I mentioned, Ricky Jackson, founder. Ricky has founded, managed, and grown many successful sports enterprises covering all aspects of the sporting ecosystem and across an international stage. He has been directly responsible for creating and scaling a highly
Is this
successful
is this singing to anybody?
licensed
It's not really
merchandise
singing to
business,
me.
partnering with world-leading brands, media partners, and licensors.
Net TV, how you doing, man?
200 million units worldwide and winning numerous
This is
international
Sportimon
media
Go.
and licensing awards. Co-founder Corey Jackson is a multi-industry sales and marketing specialist with outstanding success in multiple industries across sports and entertainment, gaming, media, and advertising. He has spent the past 5 years building a network and intense understanding of the blockchain and cryptocurrency landscape. With that being said, like I mentioned, a lot of prime time players will be making deals with Sportsmon Go to release their NFTs. With that being said, guys, let's take a look at the charts and see what's really
Been making
happening.
dinner? No worries, man. No worries.
All right, guys, so right now we're going to look at the charts for Sportsmon Go. As you can see right here, they're about a week old. So around this time right here, during its pre-sale, it shot up, and I think it reached around a $55 million market cap, and then it consolidated back down to about an $8 million market cap. And then that was a perfect buying opportunity for a lot of new investors to get in. And then it shot up to about $40 million market cap. And then ever since then, it's been consolidating in this $25 million to $40 million range for the past couple of days. So to me, this looks like a very healthy chart. It is extremely bullish and is only 6 days old. With that being said, let's take a look at where the market cap is currently sitting. The market cap is currently sitting at a $33 million market cap. With that,
Interesting, Net TV. Personally, I'm sticking with the bigger players. Well, these guys are trying to get in and be the bigger player, right? They've even used a very obvious name to try to sneak off Pokemon Go, Sportimon Go, right? So they're trying to establish themselves as the big players. It looks interesting, and NFTs is definitely, it's definitely a case where people are getting involved. But I kind of feel like it's a bit of a fad, the NFT thing. Artifact, how you doing, man? Bro, those BNB coins are wild. Binance coins. I guess you could put some profits into the, like, that's what I was thinking, like, because it's such a small, it's so, I mean, let's see what it's at right now. What is it? It was on Binance, wasn't it? It'll be on CoinMarketCap, won't it? What's the token again? $SGO. How you doing, Artifact, by the way? Good to see you, man. $SGO. No results? Are they on? It's on CoinGecko. My bad. As a player, Melbourne Doug, as a player of Pokemon Go, I've seen similar apps come in and fail. Walking Dead Go and now Pikmin Go. Don't think it'll work, but let's... No dollar sign. Is there no dollar sign on their... Why would that person put that in the title then? Idiots. But anyway, it's on CoinGecko. Let's take a look here. Sportimon Go. Let's have a look at their chart here. 24-hour chart, 7-day chart. So what I'm seeing here, it could be one of those ones where you go, okay, well, $10 on that, whatever, you know, like who cares? $10. Given the all-time chart, it's only been, what is it, 13th of June to the 16th. It's only been 6 days. It's had a pretty decent run, right? $10 on that. Not that I have $10 to do, but The dollar sign is to signify it's a tradable asset like they do for stocks sometimes as well. Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't know that. Cool, cool. Well, let's continue watching this guy's video. He's almost finished anyway.
Being said, there is huge potential for this company to grow to a $500 million market cap company. Once again, this is not financial advice. This is just based on what the developers have been planning and their execution and everything that they've been able to do in a short amount of time. In the long term, this does have potential to be a billion-dollar company. Once again, do your own
Suki!
financial research,
How you doing,
and
man?
your own due diligence to come to a decision
Suki!
if you're investing or not.
Thank you for the triple give, man. Cheers, dude.
Jesus. Bees, ease, cheese, ease, needs, me's, e, leaves, is, keys, mean, things, these, wings, these, leaves, me's, these, bees, mean, mind, water veins.
Thank you, man. Have a good one, dude. Well, thank you, Zook. Good to see you, my friend. Van Frick in the house. G'day, Van Frick. How you doing, man? Good to see you swinging in as well. Yeah, look, I gotta tell you, I don't think I would... well, I definitely... now that I've got my car registration due this month, I'm out. I'm out until... Well, this is due... 18th of July. So we're now... What are we now? The 13th of June? 16th of June. So I'm not buying anything crypto-wise until at least probably August. Let's just call it August. So for the next 2 months, until this stuff gets dealt with, I'm done. I'm out. Otherwise, I probably would have put $10 on that. Nomi, hey Nomi, thanks for following the Gives a Minute D-Live stream. Now that makes you the latest giver right here on the channel. Now why would this make you a giver? Well, let me explain. You see, you're giving me your time to consume the content, whereas me, I'm a giver because I'm giving you my time to create the content. And so you see how we're both givers here, and this is a two-way street. But you're the latest giver on the Gives a Minute D-Live stream. Thanks for the follow. I'm sure there'll be plenty of FOMO coins coming soon, Netty. That's a good point, right? So all of the stuff we learn about here on these crypto streams is viewer requested. I didn't go searching for a new cool coin and come across Sportimon Go. Somebody told me about it. I cannot recall who. I don't want to frame anybody. I don't want to put anybody in the bad seat. But these are all requests. So when I look at them, often we look at them and I think things like... what was that one? We looked at two that were almost the same, like... Wow. Nah, I can't recall. But when we looked at them and we were like, not touching that, right? Not touching that, not touching that, not touching that. So some of the coins come up and we're like, yeah, nah. This one, mainly because it's baseball and soccer and football and NFTs, it's kind of... It's got that potential to be maybe something, and it might be worth chucking $50, $10, $20, $100, whatever you can sort of just not worry if it fell out of your wallet and landed on the floor and all of a sudden you didn't have it anymore. That kind of thing. However, for me, at this particular juncture, this here is car registration in Australia for Stevan. The value of this is $547. The due date is the 18th of the 7th. To get this paid, I've also got to go and get some insurance for the van. That's going to be about $400. Also, to get the insurance, I've got to go through, we call it going back to the, South Australia calls it going over the pits. We've got to go and see a mechanic. Mechanic's got to give it the once over and say, yep, this vehicle's okay, this vehicle's roadworthy. He gets his stamp of approval. That goes to the insurance. The insurance goes, cool. Here's the insurance policy. That insurance policy gets put onto this. That goes off and I get my car registered for another year. That's about a grand all told. So as it stands right now, I'm not touching any crypto. Not doing a thing, right? Not touching anything. Maybe Bitcoin will go back up to 60 and you can sell some. Rob Mack, bam. That is exactly because what I did do, and you guys knew this, when it went back down to about, I think it went down to about 42 a while ago, I dropped $2,000 into it from my savings account. I was like, okay, this feels like this is a great time to easily make some more cash off that $2,000. So I put that in Bitcoin, and well, Then it went even further down and further and further and further. And now we're just sitting back around the 40,000, I think. We're just hovering around either 39 or 40 or something. If it ever gets to say 50, then I'll take that $2,000 back and bam, made a little bit of extra cash, which will cover the car insurance. But I like how you said that, Netsky. I'm sure there'll be plenty of FOMO coins coming. Speaking of that, not to forget, Hex is absolutely flying right now. They're talking about a 10-cent Hex. So even though my money is tied into Hex, well, hello, long-term investment, right? I'm sure at some point it'll get back to 60, right? And then what I'll do is I'll just hold that stuff until it gets to 120,000, and then I'll buy a Cybertruck and off I go into the sunset. Melbourne does got a split. No worries, Doug. Take care, man. So that is Sportimon Go. Well, have a look at me. Just look at this. Do I look like someone who would be involved in, advising finances? No. Look at this. Look at this. This is not someone who'd be involved in that sector of financial advice. So do not take this as financial advice. Take this merely as advice. Take the word financial, cut it off, separate the two, throw that away, and just take this as advice. If I had money, a little bit of extra, which I don't, I might chuck 10 to 50 bucks on that and forget about it. I'm not going to, and this should not be taken as any kind of financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor. Look at me. Clearly not. Do not take it as financial advice. Take it as advice only. That is Sportimon Go. Let's go and have a look at the next coin that's been recommended. This is the IX blockchain. Someone else recommended we look into this. IX, the first decentralized marketplace for cloud resources. Now, I don't know if it's going to be the first, but anyway. And now, look, when we read this stuff, we're reading the same thing over again with a different blockchain. Let's be real. A decentralized network. Never heard that term before. A decentralized network giving applications access to trusted off-chain computation and data. These guys have got something new, right? This is totally new. This is totally unique and new. Unbelievable. That's sarcasm. Apply for funding. Build with IX and earn. IX. How come I can't hover over there? You know what? You know the only unique thing here? That I can't highlight their text. I'll refresh that browser. I want to highlight as I talk. Well, okay, so there is a first here, folks. The first is I can't select the text. Go and invest. This is unique. Do not invest on that basis. But I can't select the text. The first decentralized marketplace for cloud resources. An innovative market network where everyone can monetize their applications, service, and data sets for developers. As a developer, you can use the IX to overcome... what was that noise? Must be a picture? Yeah, you're probably right, actually. I could inspect selection source. No, it doesn't look like it. Left to right scrolling websites. God, I love them. Anyway, the token here. This is probably the most interesting thing here. Their token, the RLC coin. RLC is the native token on the IX cloud platform. In exchange for RLC tokens, users can utilize the network to rent servers, data, and applications. Okay, that does sound pretty cool. Scaling blockchain applications with open source software and protocols. Marketplace, they got an SDK, a DApp store, and a data wallet. Let's take a look at someone who can explain this way better than me. A gentleman by the name of Coin Bureau, who does things extremely eloquently. Let's learn.
Hi, this is Guy from Coin Bureau.
G'day,
Now, before I
Guy.
get going on this review of iExec, you should know that we are not paid or mandated to do any of our reviews. Furthermore, I'm not your financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. We're a team of analysts who conduct our research and present our views for educational purposes only. Now also, if you're new to this channel, then you may want to smash that subscribe button
And he needs a shave. He's usually clean shaven.
for the latest crypto analysis, news, and reviews. And with all that out of the way then, let's jump right into iExec. Now, iExec is a decentralized cloud computing marketplace where users will sell spare computing resources to those who need them. You can essentially think of it as a decentralized version of large cloud computing services such as Amazon Web Services or Google Cloud. Except in this case, the providers are those on the network and not a large centralized entity.
Look how bad his teleprompter is. It's like it's down here, and it's so obvious he's not looking at us. Like if you're gonna not look at the camera, don't look slightly close to it, or a little off to the side, or a little above, or a little off. Just don't put your face on camera. Like either you're gonna look at us or you're not. Like you can't fool us. We're not fools, are we? I'm not. I don't know if you're fools. Does he think we're fools? I don't know.
Powering the iExec ecosystem is their utility token called RLC. This is an ERC20 token that was built on the Ethereum blockchain. iExec is also being quite specific with their potential users. They know that taking on the likes of Google, Amazon, and other cloud computing giants is likely to be pretty futile. So instead, they're focusing on the blockchain economy by targeting decentralized applications, or dApps. As the adoption and use of dApps grows, developers will need a way to run all the computations and instructions. Running them on the existing blockchains could cause bloat and slow things down considerably. This is something that we saw in 2018 with the CryptoKitties craze. Remember that? Now let's take a look at the iExec technology stack. There are three key components to this. These include the resource marketplace, the dApp store, and the data marketplace. In the resource marketplace, providers can offer their computing resources in exchange for RLC, and where developers, individuals, and other entities can shop for the resources they require to power their applications. Now, apart from just powering dApps, iExec has also built their own dApp store. You can think of this as
It's kind of like the way he's describing it there. It kind of sounds a little like the edge node on Theta. So you're providing streamers on the Theta network, your bandwidth and your not storage but just bandwidth, I suppose, and compute power, and in response you're receiving T-Fuel. It's kind of a similar kind of thing, I think.
the Google Play equivalent for decentralized applications. This is already live, and you can also go and browse some of the dApps that are up. Also, if you're a developer, then you can list your dApp here and make it open to the broader community. The final piece of the technology stack is the
Fanfreak, I got 6 CryptoKitties for sale. DM me. See, I'm so new to cryptocurrency that I don't know what he was referring to. Does somebody got a link to the CryptoKitty scandal? I mean, I know Bitcoin, and that's all I know from the history or from the historical books.
data marketplace. It's here that data providers can sell their data to dApp developers or anyone who's interested in utilizing it. You can read more about the technology stack in our long-form review, which is
Those kitties clogged ETH in 2017.
Now, something that's quite impressive about the project is their team's experience. They have 6 PhDs that are currently working on the protocol, and 4 of those have been in the cloud computing field for over a decade. The team completed an ICO.
So the fees went to the same levels like they are right now. So ETH had a shocker back then, and it was the kitties' fault. So whose fault is it this time? Is it the crypto doggies? The meme coins?
2017, and were able to raise a total of $12 million in exchange for 87 million RLC tokens. Since then, the team has been meeting all of their roadmap milestones and have collaborated with a large number of large partners. These include the likes of IBM, Intel, and EDF. The team has also just released the latest
Yes, Uniswap killed ETH this time.
iExec v3.
And Richard Hart saved it.
This had numerous improvements.
Ooh, controversial, but kind of true so far. I mean, I'm pretty stoked on my Hex, not going to lie.
The protocol that will make it faster, more secure, and flexible. And we've covered these updates in a recent interview that we did with the iExec CEO, and you can find a link to that in the description below. RLC tokens are currently traded on a number of exchanges, although the bulk of their volume appears to be on Binance, with over 80% of the total volume. There is marginal trading on other exchanges, including...
Vanfrick, I got 1,000 Hex staked. I wish I didn't stake. You wish you didn't stake that? And when did you do that? How long ago? How long ago did you get in?
Upbit and Bittrex. Volume and liquidity appear to be quite strong, although the tokens do remain quite volatile. So, in conclusion, an ambitious project with a competent team, strong technology, and large partners.
You got in before Big Payday. That's rad, dude.
There's still a lot of work to be done before the network will function as...
Why do you wish you didn't stake?
And what's your view on iExec? Do you have any questions for me? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you like my video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Much more.
No worries, Guy from Coin Bureau, but as we like to do here, we do want to take another person's opinion. Crypto Cache is the channel this time. Price will plummet and fees for unstaking is too high. Okay. Okay, interesting. Okay, that's one way to look at it. If you said that to a hexagon, they'd answer the smart contract is designed to not have that happen. But anyway, this is someone else talking about RLC coin price prediction. Now, this is from May this year. So let's take a look at this.
All right, folks, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you very much for joining me here today. I appreciate you coming by. Now, this is a one-stop shop for cryptocurrency analysis, among other things. And what we're going to do is take a look at RLC. And we're going to see kind of what we can do to help you find a good entry point, best practice, and just understand what's going on overall in the market by looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Vanfrick, I bet 99% of all people who went into Hex staked for a year or more. Yes, the longer the bigger, right? The better. Who gets all the winnings, Van? Those that stake the longest.
First. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. This is for educational purposes only. Always do your own research. And just know I've been trading for years, right? Over 10 years. And I can tell you that in my experience, I've learned a lot. And I've learned a lot.
This guy's audio isn't synced to his visuals.
About what not to do. And my goal here is to help you understand, again, best practice so you can make a better, more well-informed decision, teach you to trade for a lifetime instead of just on a daily basis, right? That being said, that's kind of what we're looking at there. Feel free to reference my Patreon account down below if you'd like to show your support if you find benefit here. Also, furthermore, there's $25 in Bitcoin from Voyager. Reference that as well, in addition to my Telegram and Discord channels. So without further ado, let's go and check it out. All right, folks, let's go ahead and take a look at RLC. Now, at this point, we're going to just go ahead and quickly peek into Bitcoin and Ethereum first. If you're new to the channel, I always like to look at those so we get a baseline of kind of what's going on in the market.
Look at his little promo here, getting his own YouTube channel up there for long enough to everybody to see.
Market. That way, when you jump into an altcoin, you understand more specifically the big picture, and it really helps you make an informed decision. Okay, so we'll look at that first, and then we'll move on, of course, to the product at hand. So we'll look at RLC here in a moment. But this is by the way, this is the Binance desktop trading application. I use TradingView within, and you can just enable that in the top right hand corner if you'd like to follow along and add your indicators. I use see here the 50-day and the 200-day moving average. Those are the simple moving averages, as well as the VWAP and EMA. I'll get into that later. But simply put, those are the indicators that you might see here. These two are enabled with the 200 and 50-day moving average. So to preface here with the moving averages on Bitcoin, this is the 4-hour chart, and I prefer to use the 4-hour chart because it seems to carry the most weight and to be the most beneficial for me when using these indicators. And as you can see, the 50-day moving average was working as a nice support level recently, but is now a resistance. Big surprise. Big.
You're talking about Pulse Chain. Haven't looked into his new chain at all. Yeah, so my just to sidestep from RLC here, my take on Pulse is I still don't understand how Pulse Chain is going to fix the Ethereum fees, given that I thought everybody was told stake longer is better. So if you're like me, and I got this advice from the Hexicans when they came in here and helped me out, I made a staking ladder that goes all the way through to the 15-year, the 5555, right? And I sporadically allowed stakes to come out, sometimes one in 2027, one in 20, whatever. And the ladder goes up to eventually they all come out at that end point, which is the 15-year stake. So I don't get how, like, I understand that the Ethereum blockchain is, the fees on that are stupid, right? That's right now. But as we just saw in the chat, this also happened before with the kitty candy, crypto kitty stuff that happened back in the day. This could happen again later on. Ethereum fees could come down again. They could go back up. But either way, you're in for the long haul, aren't you? Isn't that the whole point of Hex, to buy it and stake it long term for gains? So he's talking about everybody having liquid Hex. First of all, there's the discussion about sacrificing your Hex for Pulse Hex. So sacrifice your ETH Hex for Pulse Hex. It's like, who has liquid Hex? Like who didn't stake, basically? Who didn't do what you were told to do at the beginning? You want to earn the biggest return? Stake longer is better. Who didn't do that? Are they the ones that are going to get rewarded by now either ending stake, right? Ending their stake, and then converting that liquid Hex into Pulse Hex? Are they going to get rewarded? That doesn't seem right. And isn't that all going to just devalue ETH Hex? I still can't grasp that, and no one seems to be able to really explain it to me. I just don't get how creating a second version of it is going to help the problems on the first one, when everybody was told the only way to make this thing extremely financially beneficial is to stake longer is better. The bigger the stake, the longer the stake, the better. Even if you stake a small amount, you do it longer, better. So who's the yahoos with liquid Hex? All the ones promoting didn't stake, you think, Van Freak? You think that? That's what I'm telling you. The ones who bought in before Big Tay staked for long so that others could milk the stakes for a year. And now they're going to get benefited. They're going to earn the benefit. Like, when I hear, and I see it in the Telegram, when I hear Hexicans talk about sacrificing their ETH Hex, I'm like, isn't this completely against what everybody said at the beginning? Like, this, you're doing the opposite of what you said you were supposed to do. You shouldn't have any liquid Hex. You should have stakes. Longer is better. Bingo. And then they make people unstake to get liquid Hex to get a new coin. Now, the only thing that I like, if you say it like you just did, Van Frick, the thing that's comforting is that you are getting a duplicate of whatever ERC20s you own. So you could say, even if it all falls down, you still got the duplicate of what you had, and you're no worse off because they duplicated what you had. But here's the thing. I'm not unstaking my Hex because longer is better. And I probably put in total, I converted some BTT. I probably put in about $30 US into Hex, and currently it's at 15 grand. The value of my Hex is about 15 grand. And that's like a year and a half into 15-year term deposit. So by the time that goes out to the full 15 years, if the smart contract works the way everybody's saying it's meant to, I'm going to be super wealthy by the end of that. But who's unstaking to go onto a new chain? And the idea of going onto that new chain is to not get nabbed with fees on the old one, which you wouldn't see anyway for 15 freaking years. So I don't get it, and no one seems to be able to sort of say, oh, here's the reason. bam, bam, bam. It's all just talk, talk, talk. Sacrifice this, sacrifice that, unstake your hex, go liquid, do this. It's very confusing. If hex is no good on ETH, why is it good on Pulse? It's no good on ETH because of the blockchain fees, but on Pulse, they're negating those fees because they're not on that blockchain. I understand the concept, but I don't understand. Well, I understand the concept very loosely because I'm not that smart about it, but I'm new as well. I'm still trying to grind it all out. But I understand that something is not working on the Ethereum blockchain, so therefore do it again. But what I'm saying is, isn't that going to naturally just devalue ETH hex? And every sucker who staked 5555 is going to lose out. Big bullshit. Financial advice. That's Van Frick's financial advice. Okay. Well, let's continue on with RLC.
Coin. We also see a head and shoulders pattern here forming, which implies the price could come down and come down a little further perhaps, and then likely come back up, or could very well correct itself and have like a short arm head and shoulders, where it's got a really short arm on the other side. Either way you look at it, that is essentially the general synopsis here for Bitcoin. We have a major support level at 30,000. Current resistance is 42,000. So we're going to stay in this channel, I feel, for a little while longer. I don't think we're going to see a major breakout anytime soon, but if we do, be ready for other altcoins to follow suit, right? But again, we get a little bit more consolidation, perhaps closer to the 38 to 42,000 range from Bitcoin. Then we'll see some altcoins taking off. They did try recently, but of course, this this sell-off in the last 24 hours from 40 to 35 leaves everybody just kind of unsure of what to do. And it's unfortunate and it's tragic that Bitcoin has such control over the market in that sense. I do hope someday, perhaps Ethereum or something else, Cardano can take over and stop being so reliant on Bitcoin, right? It would be so nice to have that. Either way, needless to say, that is the case here. The 200-day moving average, also bear in mind, is a very impactful moving average. We're not going to see that being touched for quite some time. It's hovering around 49.
Why is he looking at Bitcoin if we're talking about RLC?
Ethereum is a very similar scenario. As you can see, the similar channels here, right? Because it's almost mirroring Bitcoin recently because of the fact that, that all the sell-offs, even though Ethereum typically does very well when Bitcoin sells off, there's a point where that has to slow down and stop when we just keep getting hit harder and harder every other day, right? So with that being said, we can see all this here. We got the China candle and the Elon candles up here to trade the price down. And now we have a support level at roughly 1900 and the resistance is 2900. So we got this $1,000 range that's kind of jumping around. But what's nice is the 50-day moving average is working as a support level now. It was almost broken. And it looks like with that slight variance there, it is back on track and will likely close above. So that's the hope there. So let's continue to see what happens with Ethereum, but it does seem like Ethereum is bouncing back a little better than it did before. I like that. All right, moving on to RLC. Now I like to start with a one-day chart just to get perspective on like what happened and why we're here. Obviously, we know why we're here for the most part with Bitcoin selling off. However, it's good to identify how these two correlate, right? So if we look at this here, here 510. Let's actually quickly note here. First of all, 512 is the Elon candle, right? And then we also have China candle at about 518, and somewhere in between there is there's a few other things that have impacted, of course, but those are the two most important ones you could say. So looking at the 12th, that's the 12th right here. So this is interesting. If you look at the 12th right here, the Elon candle, even though we had pretty good strong sell-off, the day recovered green, and the following day it ramped back up. So we had a pretty strong increase the day after the Elon candle. And of course, the market continued to sell off with a state of
It's the first time I've heard anyone refer to it as the Elon candle. Understandable, though.
Decision. So over the next few days, we saw that. And then, of course, this is the China candle here. Drove the price down to its most recent low of about $3.10. And it ramped up and consolidated again because Bitcoin has just been kind of doing its thing here. So with this state of indecision with Bitcoin, that is causing a state of indecision with RLC. But in my opinion, based on the overall price action, it should be much higher. And here's what was great about this. The actual moving average, the 50-day moving average, is holding as a support, with the 200 trailing behind. So this 50-day moving average has been tested 4 times and it's held every single time. So do I feel like the price is going to come any lower than $4.64? I do not. But obviously we want to see what happens with Bitcoin. If it comes back down to 30,000, then we will see this support level tested again, and it might even break at that point if Bitcoin can't get its stuff together, right? But if Bitcoin's head and shoulders pattern continues and we see a correction and then a price ramp back up to 42,000, then we'll be in really good shape here with RLC. Moving forward, we have a diminished amount of volume, which makes sense with all of the selling off. The bears are still in control. The MACD tells us it is Bear City, so it's Chicago Bears here, if you will. And also in the middle, we see RSI's fair to Midland. So really not much to note here on the one-day chart, minus the fact that, big picture, it makes sense as to why the price retraced, because the price came up way too fast, way too quick, and then really bad timing, Elon candle and then China candle. So there's really been no good opportunities for our RLC to recover, but it should have a good opportunity soon if we can see a state of consolidation from 38,000 to 42,000 with Bitcoin. I really think we're going to be just fine if we see that. All right, so moving on to the 4-hour chart now. And this is where it's getting interesting here. So if we look at the moving averages, first of all, the 50-a-day is the yellow one here. That is holding as a strong resistance level. We had a slight variance there, tried to break out, but didn't. And then it came back down and it's still pushing the price down. The 200-day moving average was kind of working as a support, but also not really, as a large variance. And we currently lost both supports. So at this point, what we're looking at here is a little bit of an uphill battle, right? So when we see the price action at $5.69, that's roughly where the moving averages should be, and the price is under that, that is a cause for a slight concern, because there's 2 moving averages the price needs to jump above. But let's look at other things here. I mean, RSI is fairly low, so it is still considered to be oversold. And if we look here, we got a pretty strong support level at $4.47. So, great news. Even though we're under the moving averages, you can see the price bouncing off of these support levels, or this current support level at a roughly, again, $4 and just say round number, $4.60. So do I feel the price is going to come below that? I do not. I think we're going to be in pretty good shape to have that bounce and recover and break these 2 moving averages. Because the support level that's been tested, 7 times, is much stronger than a 50 or 200-day moving average, at least in this sense, with the price action being where it should. I mean, the average true range should definitely be higher if you consider and you take away a lot of those strong red candles that occurred on the one-day chart because of all the market news, right? So if you take that out of the equation, the price action should be closer to $10, I guess you could say. So just be mindful of that. All right, so that is the 4-hour chart. We're looking at the 15 next. And what we do first, this is what I do personally. I just remove the moving averages on the chart here because the simple moving averages are a little less effective on a shorter time frame. And the more effective indicators is the volume weighted average price and the EMA line, right? So if we look at the EMA here, that is this red line. That is essentially a momentous indicator in a sense where it's telling us where the price action is, because see how it keeps bouncing off this and holding underneath and holding below? That shows that the bears are in control, right? That's the price trying to break above. Nope, rejected, rejected, rejected. Anytime you see the price jumping above and below the EMA line on the 15-minute chart, it's usually an indication of the fact that there's consolidation, but in this case, there was obviously a consolidation in a downward fashion. So it's something to be mindful of and be careful with, because the VWAP here, the blue line, is essentially the volume expressed as a price over the last 24 hours. So it takes the 24-hour volume and tells you what the price should be based on that volume. So that being said, the price right now should be $5.14 according to the VWAP. So the price being under, that means that's working as a resistance level. Now the EMA right now is a potential support, so the price bounces off the EMA. It could continue to progress upwards, but we don't truly know just yet. Now I like the fact that the price is above support at $4.60. Okay. So if I were to take entry in this climate right now, I would be very cautious to wait for the price to break above the VWAP line, or for lack of better terms, wait for the VWAP to kind of calm down and come a little further down before considering taking entry. Because even though we're above the support level here and above EMA, we haven't had that true confirmation yet. So if you're going to take entry, just say, for example, again, me personally, I'd wait for the VWAP line to be tested and to break above and to hold for no less than 30 minutes. Okay, that's step number one for me. Step number two, which you could consider doing since we are above support at 460, is to wait for the price to bounce off of this EMA line and to hold above. In other words, as you can see here, the price is up over EMA and is working as a potential support. If the price comes down and bounces off and continues up, and the EMA just say continues this way, which it will likely do, then that would be a good indication of confirmation for a potential entry point. Because again, here's kind of how that works. Let me just see if I can find a good case in point where that happens. I mean, this is kind of a bad example because there's a lot of volatility here in this little situation. But if you can see the price comes up, right, and it comes back down, it doesn't bounce off the EMA, it kind of gets rejected, but it holds above the VWAP. Okay, and then it comes up and it comes down, and you see how it bounces right here. This is what the confirmation I'm referring to. If you can see a bounce like this off the EMA line with the current price action, then that would be a consideration for an entry point. But again, you're kind of working against against the clock, I guess you could say, or whatever term you want to use, because the VWAP line is still working as a resistance. So you want to be careful, right? That's why I wait for both. I prefer to wait to take confirmation above the VWAP and also price bouncing off the EMA and continuing upwards as well. That's just kind of how I do it, right? But I shoot for smaller gains, and I don't try to 10x and 20x every coin that I get into, right? I prefer to get in with smaller entries and to take my positions and to add to my position as I get more confirmation. So for you, if you're not that kind of trader, that's perfectly fine. Feel free to hodl yourself or to get in at what you feel is comfortable. But
Hodl yourself.
I can tell you in my experience, waiting for the price to bounce off any type of support and resistance level is a really good indication of the price action and where it's heading. There's no guarantees, but it does increase your odds. And I think you're a much better trader because of it. And so just something to consider. Again, that's kind of how that works. And you could pretty much do the same thing on the 1 minute chart, right? So I know that the lines get a little squiggly here, but if the general concept still applies. Price is under VWAP here. See, it broke above and rejected and came back down. There was no confirmation that the price stayed above. And with the price coming down and holding below the VWAP line, that's working as a resistance level. And of course, the EMA2 on the 1 minute chart, they pretty much losing EMA and the price is coming back down again. Now just bear in mind the EMA is more sensitive on the 1 minute chart. The smaller time frames, the more essentially it bounces or will react, right? So if you look at this here and you see what's going on, the 1 minute chart is essentially telling us that the price action is more bearish at this point, and it's trending downwards because it rejected off the VWAP line, and it may continue to come back down to test the support level at what, $4.60, $4.50, $4.60, right in that range. Okay, so just be mindful, be careful. Of course,
all of these
depends on what kind of trading you're.
All of these decisions that these kind of day traders make, I suppose, it's a little. It's a little presumptuous because, I mean, it's okay to put all these charts together and to sort of look at the patterns and the, what do they call it, the maximum day trade and the max average and all that stuff. But ultimately, you're looking at, you're buying, the value of the coin is based on the utility of the thing the coin's used for. So, and this is coming from someone who doesn't do any of this day trading stuff. I just hodl. I just buy for a long term, right? And the excuse me, and the message has always been loud and clear: make sure whatever you invest in has good utility. So if you spend all your time looking at these charts and the bounce off and the levels and the resistances and all that, you're sort of forgetting to look at the tech. Like, I mean, wouldn't it be better for you to look at all the things that are being used, like this RLC coin in particular is, what is it, like decentralized compute power and storage and DApps. So wouldn't it be better to spend all your time researching what they are and how they're going to be used? That would give you more of an insight as to whether the value will go up or down. NetTV, the whole market seems FOMO buying at the moment. It's statistics and pure speculation. Yeah, but yeah, and they, I'm nothing against this YouTuber or anybody that does this, but it's kind of like he mentioned the Elon candle and the China candle before. So all of the things that you think you know are 100% irrelevant as soon as something else happens. And in this two cases, Elon happens or China happens. So you can't, like why don't they put that in here? They always say the daily average and this and that, and they got a resistance level. Why don't they go, oh, and by the way, if Elon tweets again, then you should be expecting another drop back down to here. So therefore everything will go. They don't do that. They just kind of do these. It's like almost generic. It's like easy, comfortable charts, if you like. Technical analysis is very vague in the crypto space. I guess that's what I was saying. Yeah, I wasn't saying it very well, but that's pretty much what I was saying. Thank you, Van Freak.
You're trying to do if you're going to be like a long-term swing trade.
It's also individual.
Use the 15-minute chart or the 4-hour chart to take entry, because that's more important on understanding big picture. But when you're going to use a 1-minute or 15-minute chart, it's probably more likely going to be a trade that you're going to do.
NetTV, long-term people need to really know what's going on to make it through the other end. Yeah, and NetTV is a day trader, so he can speak to that for sure. I'm sort of like, if someone said, how come you staked all your Lino in the testnet on DLive? Well, I believed in the Lino concept. I believed in DLive as a decentralized live streaming platform as an alternative to YouTube. That's why I was comfortable dropping all of my Lino back in on testnet. Why do you do that still with BTT now that it's obviously on the Tron network and mainnet, blah, blah, blah? I still believe in that. That's why I do that. Yeah. There is a lot of cash to be made day trading. You can 100 times leverage in some pages. Van Frick, I really want, well, I would really like your help when it comes time to do some day trading, because I'm still mining on Stormgain. Every 4 hours you press a button on your phone and you mine Bitcoin. The catch is you got to get $10 worth of value, and then when you get that value, you can trade it on Stormgain, but you can't take the money. You can only take out the winnings or the earnings. So I would love to day trade, and I'd 100 times leverage, or I'll max the leverage to make the maximum that I can with this Bitcoin I've been mining on Stormgain. I know NetTV's doing as well. By the way, I'm not trading anymore. I couldn't get much gain, so I gave it up. Now I'm just hodling. Oh, okay, cool. Day trading is just a term as long as the day OG transactions occur. Okay. And by the way, I'm waiting until I get $24 worth of Bitcoin in that app, simply because that will be double 12, which was the first time I started. I don't know. Anyway, we'll do that another time. A long time from now, because it's taken a long time.
In that same day, get in and out the same day, and or just say the 15-minute chart is good for identifying short-term swing trades. Okay? I prefer to hover in between day trading and short-term swing trading, but I do recommend if you're newer to trading, do one or the other. Don't try to do both, because there's different mindsets and different things you've got to utilize as far as risk tolerances are concerned. So I'll have a training class on these things moving forward.
A big $25 day trade. Looking forward. Yeah, Van Frick, I'm looking forward to it as well. I'll literally go. I'll literally say, folks, and Van Frick mainly, here's $24 in tradable Bitcoin on the app Stormgain. I'll bring it up on screen. I'll say, pick a coin, pick anything that I can make the maximum return on, short term day trading, and let's go for it. I'm all in, 100% in. I did it last time with $12, and nobody helped me. I didn't really know what I was doing. and I leveraged 50 times and I lost everything. So there's a lesson there. Well, there's a lesson on how to lose everything. Maybe the next lesson will be how to make gains instead of losing them. I lost huge on Theta. I sold, then I couldn't buy back in because the price shot up. Oh, they're going to need changing. The Van Freak token.
Board, but I can tell you for right now, just try to pick one or the other. Try not to jump between the two, because that's where it can get really risky. I've lost plenty of money in the past, that's why I can say that, and it's not something that I.
The exchanges are the ones making the money, right on Net TV.
Craft and get good at it, right?
They certainly did off me that time.
Hopefully you found
$12.
this to be beneficial, but yes, my projection for RLC is to continue. Let's actually do this here really quick. On the 4-hour chart, I feel like RLC will continue upwards.
The printing money at the moment,
the support level will hold at $4.60. Now in the next month, if Bitcoin can stabilize and recover and start coming up back to just say closer to 50,000, then absolutely RLC will come up.
Hey, what's Bitcoin at right now? Are we still over 40,000 or we drop back? I would assume we drop back to 39,000.
That's its previous resistance level of maybe not 1650. I think that's a little lofty, but I do feel like it will come up to somewhere in the range of 11 to 12.
I was lucky with ADA with Cardano this run, still in. Nice.
More consistent in the upward.
I got a little Cardano in my bag, little ADA.
And to stop coming down on us, right? I think we all want that because all of our altcoins are suffering because of this one thing.
Hey, it's still over 40. That's cool. Net TV, that's good to see. 40,004. Yeah, cool.
But Bitcoin is Bitcoin. Not much else we can do about it. So if you found benefit from this video, please like and subscribe.
Holding nice, good.
Feel free to obviously, contact me on Telegram. Feel free to support me on Patreon. And of course, be on the lookout. I'm going to have some live streams coming up soon.
No worries. Crypto Cache. Let's pause that there. Nice one, Crypto Cache. Let's get out of there. So we do have one more thing to look at, but it is a lengthy. So this is someone put this video, linked this to me. Raoul Pal, the beginning of the biggest altcoin shift in 2021. Shocking. From a channel called Crypto Banter. Now this is a live stream that actually goes for about an hour. So I do want to have a look at that. But to get us there, I do want to go and refresh my beverage and also take a slash. So until we get to that, surfing.
And welcome back to the super quick wave a day, and it's hello, swell, hello. No swell, none. Can't hear a thing, can't see a thing. I went surfing. There wasn't much to be seen, much to be ridden, much to be engaging. It just wasn't much. Mind you, I did manage at least one semi-decent, I think. What do you think? Well, good morning, Tuesday. Gotta tell you, this looks lousy. It's cold and lousy.
Another week, in another year, I'm sailing with another me and another you and another we. I'm waving at another place, at another time, in another.
Got it. Is that all? Is that the wave for today?
And another boat with a rock and a sling. I'm sailing, I'm not waiting, I'm not sailing, I'm not waiting, I'm not sailing, I'm not waiting, I'm not sailing, I'm not waiting.
Well, okay. I just finished dissing it. The first wave saying, that's all I'm gonna get. And then that one came through, that was all right. Kind of. Is that the best we're gonna get? Maybe.
Sailing, run, I'm sailing, ocean through the storm, swallowed by the sea, drifting into the sun. I'm sailing, I'm not
Massa size wave, just no face to ride. Ba-bow.
I'm not waiting, I'm not sailing, I'm not waiting, I'm not sailing, I'm not waiting. In another land of another earth, sitting on a rock, I'm sailing with energy. Captain King, floating in a tum-tum, I'm sailing. At the end of the world, it's the end of your life. Till the end of time, I'm sailing. I'm not waiting, I'm not 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 sailing. I'm not waiting.
I was gonna make that my last save, and then I realized, hey, it ain't even worth standing up on.
Oh yeah? What do you say? What do you know? What do you think? What do you do? Did that work? Did that one? Was that okay? That one in there? The rest was absolutely garbage. Well, what can you do? Pull a rabbit out of a shoe? I didn't do much. I'll tell you what though, while I sit down and think about what I'll do tomorrow, you guys can go back to the live stream.
Ah, Cracky, you're back. You're back, aren't you? Zuxki! Wow! My Eunice! Wow! The triple freaking give, my friend. What?
Jesus. Bees, ease, cheese, ease, needs, me's, e, leaves, keys, mean, things, these, wins, these, leaves, me's, these, bees, mean, mind, water veins.
Thank you, Zuxki. Little triple give there. You guys talking about Bitcoin saying it'll go down to 13k, Van Freak? What? Don't frighten me, man. 13k? What? Crikey. Surf time is cool. Thank you, Zuxki. Appreciate you. Let's move on. And I can't recall who linked me this, but this is Raoul Pal, the beginning of the biggest altcoin shift in 2021. Shocking. This streamed live on May 28 this year.
Yeah, I'm looking at the whole business. I'm not looking at what to buy necessarily at this time. I'm just looking at the whole business and how I might get involved in it with Icon Enterprises in a relatively big way, because I do think it's here to stay in one form or another. I think
relatively big way. What does relatively big way mean, Carl?
Well, a big way for us would not be to buy a few coins or something, you know. You know, I'm not going to buy a few coins. I don't believe in trading the market if I can help it. You know, I've learned
hundreds of millions, billions. Is that what we're talking?
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, a big way for us would be, you know, $1 billion, $1.5 billion, something like that. But that would be a sort of a big way, I guess, for us. But sometimes we go bigger than that. Sometimes a lot smaller. But so I'm not going to say exactly. But to get back to the, I guess you know way to really get back to the concept. But a lot of these other things, though, I think out there are overvalued. There's no question about that in my mind. But that doesn't mean that necessarily. And I was saying about cryptocurrency, to get back to it, there will. I don't think there will be a lot of the survivors that are out there trading today in it. You know, I don't think so. I think there's got to be some form of really feeling there's safety and value there.
Interesting beginning.
So Carl Icahn is going all in on Bitcoin. Last night, Apple hinted that they're getting all into cryptocurrency. PayPal opens its wallet to allow for inter-wallet movement in and out of their ecosystem, and GameStop is building on Ethereum. All this, and Bitcoin, have a look at this, cannot get convincingly over the $40,000 level. Guys, are we still in a bull market? That's what we're going to be talking about today. Today on the show, as I mentioned to you, I've also got Raoul Paul live, and I told you guys, I want to find out from Raoul how much of an altcoin degen he is. I mean, you guys have heard his story. I mean, you've all heard the Raoul Pal story. And if you haven't, go to YouTube, go to any podcast, Google his name, and you'll hear the same podcast about 80 trillion.
Net TV, these young guys are cool. Crypto banter. So you recommended this? I apologize, but I never remember who put what where. But I'm interested. Interesting setup he's got here. He's doing all his own switching, which is cool. Look at the Bitcoin fees and the ETH fees.
Times, and you can hear his story, and you can hear how he got into Bitcoin, and how he went from only in Bitcoin to what it sounds like being all in on ETH, or more bullish on ETH.
I watched them last night. Yeah, I did. Okay, cool. Thanks, Netskis. Thanks, man. If they behave in pattern, we are about to see a 3-year of crypto winter again. Van Frick. You're telling. I don't want to hear the bad news. Only tell me the good news. Wouldn't that be lousy if that was the way people receive news? Don't tell me the bad news, just the good news. Well, I hope you're wrong, Van Freak.
And then he started tweeting his tweets. Show me your best alts. I actually even created a portfolio for him. We should call out that portfolio. I think it's on our website on the calls. There's a Raoul Pal portfolio that we once made when he asked for altcoin calls. So guys, massive show here today. As always, I'm Crypto Man Run. I come to you every single day, 6 a.m. EST with the sniper, the man that doesn't miss a shot, and 10 a.m. EST with a big news fundamental show. And together we combine fundamentals and technicals to make you the richest community in the entire world. If you're new to our channel, welcome. Where the hell have you been? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit
If you're new to the channel, welcome. Where the hell have you been? You probably should be playing last night's show to get more up to the minute info, but this one was pretty good. Cool.
You want. Hit the bell button because it tells you when we're coming to you. And now with the markets doing what they're doing, we are coming to you guys a lot more than normal. Weekend streams, late night streams, early morning streams, every time we have a call. We're also introducing a new segment of a show. And that is that every time that we make a big trade, or we think that there's a big trade, we're going to go live, show you the charts, show you why we're going in, and then we're going to actually even start executing trades with you guys online. Using that.
Hey, that's my thing. Hey. Crypto banter? I'm the one that does live trading. Aren't I?
Coin panel tool that we used on Sheldon's show, which actually shows you how you can get your whole trade in one entry button. You press the button once and it's got your whole trade with stop losses and profits and everything else. Another reason to subscribe to our channel is because we are the only channel in the world that have the banter bags. And yeah, we gave away the banter bags. Winners from banter bags 1 have actually been paid. They got paid yesterday and today, so they've got their tokens. Certainly those that have vested or that have...
I've been coming a lot more lately also. It must be something in the crypto air. Did I read that wrong, Fanfreak? I must have read that wrong. Considering we're family friendly. What?
Come out. They've already got, and they're going to be getting more tokens as the tokens vest. And now we're launching Banter Bags 2. What is Banter Bags 2? Well, we took $10,000. We invested in pre-market allocations that generally are very hard to get your hands on.
That Twitter.
When we get to 500,000, we give the bags to the community. We'll select.
Sean Goodall. Hey, Sean, thanks for following the Gives a Minute YouTube channel. Thank you for subscribing. Oh, here we go. Getting trolled on YouTube. Hello, trolls. 3 in a row. Nothing like trolling on the YouTube machine. I get no subs for and then 4 in a row. 4 in a row I'm on YouTube right now. Streaming on YouTube, and there's no viewers over there, but there's 4 trolls just coming in with follows. Awesome. You see, YouTube?
How many winners are we selecting? Fred says 20. I don't know, what do you guys think? Fred says 20. Last time we chose 10. We gave it to one charity as well. Let us know what you guys want. Let us know whether we should give it to 3, 10, 20, more. No, not 1. 1 is too small, Freddie. 1 is too small. 100. 100. So 100. 100. Okay, so 1, 10, 23, 100. Yeah. Also,
Van Frick, isn't that organic growth? No, that is. I'm literally live on YouTube with no viewers, according to Restream, and yet 4 people just subbed to the channel. Nah. I'm not buying it, YouTube.
if you watched the earlier show, we were trying to find a girlfriend for Sheldon. In the chat, if you are single, Sheldon's DMs are open on Twitter. Sheldon's emails are open. Just be careful because his mom is his PA, and so she reads all his Twitter addresses, all his tweets. His mom reads, so please be careful. You guys have killed him. You've blown up his entire inbox. He got 8,000 emails, and now. Sheldon, before we get riled up, I want to ask you a question. How many times have you been propositioned since your last show?
That's a lot. It's a lot. I'm still trying to actually go through all of them. That's a lot.
You said you have a date in New York. You have a date in the Ukraine.
Yeah, there's a few in Australia, Miami, definitely 2 from New Zealand. There's quite a bit. There's actually a lot to still get through.
Let's start the show with a Bitcoin chart. You told me the Bitcoin chart was breaking out, and while you're talking about the Bitcoin chart, I'm going to bring on someone who really believes in charts. He actually says that he can't make a move without the charts, and that of course is Raoul Paul. Raoul Paul, welcome to Crypto Banter, my friend.
Great to be here. Looking forward to this.
Everyone says that my house, my filming studio looks much better than your filming studio. I mean, they compare it. They say that this looks much better than that.
But yours isn't yours, and this is mine.
Okay. Okay, I see where the show is going to go. I kind of see the tone of where the show is going to go. Let's get into the fun and games of it. So this is what I brought up in the earlier show today. I know that when we're in a bull market, in fact, hold on a second. Something doesn't feel right here. There's only 10,000 people in the stream, and usually it's like 20,000 people in the stream. So I'm going to check how many people have liked the stream. Freddie, how many people have liked the stream? Raoul, how's your maths?
Pretty terrible, but go on. I've only been in finance for 30 years, but with bad maths, that's fine.
If there's 10,500 people watching a stream and only 4,000 people like it, how many non-smart people, dumb people are watching the stream?
I'm not saying anything. They're all amazing.
They're all amazing. Smash the like. You are the most amazing community. Let's get this video out there. Let's get everybody talking about Raoul Paul on Crypto Banter. Help us make this the biggest channel in the world. We are already in the top 3, but we need to become the number 1. We have to become the number 1 crypto channel in the world. Sheldino, show us what's going on. Why is Bitcoin is breaking out, finally?
No, it's looking good, Ron. Obviously.
Exactly as I have been predicting.
Yeah, it's going to plan. So everything is looking good. That's why I was very happy yesterday. We didn't sell off on Bitcoin yet. We haven't hit that high we needed to hit just yet. And now we're well on our way. It looks like we're finally starting to get some good momentum to the upward side. And we're looking good for the $41,000 to the $43,000 level. And from that zone, we'll then see how we react there. And we'll then be making a decision if there's a good farming stage coming up, or if we're going to go straight through to the 48,000.
Okay, now, are you still calling that head and shoulders with a slight pullback where you said you're going to to 43?
For now, yes. It's still I still feel like there's a decent pullback coming. You know what? After the big drop we've had in the market, for it to recover in a matter of 1 week just doesn't make that full sense. And especially understanding the emotion cycle and where we should be in this range a little bit longer. So I see one more strong pullback, and then we can start making our way up to the $48,000 level, and then we'll obviously see from there.
Well, I know you're a chart man. When you look at this chart, are you in agreement that after the big crash, I don't know, call it crash, call it correction, call it whatever you want, and we will talk about that. Are you in agreement that this thing's...
When did this go live? May. Yeah, okay, interesting. Because they're talking about something that hasn't happened, or they're talking about it as if we didn't go down. Yeah, okay.
Going to come down one last time and then go up. Do you still think we're in an upward cycle?
Look, I think I look at it as a balance of probabilities. I think the probability is it pretty much exactly as Sheldon says. It kind of grinds higher, has a bit of choppy range, digests a bit more of that, all of the price action that we had, and then goes higher. there is a downside risk that this is kind of a wedge pattern and we have another shot at the downside, which will probably reject pretty quickly. So it's not clear. It's not out of the woods yet. I don't trade it, so I just hold it, so I don't really care. But I do it I watch it for amusement.
Amazing. Sheldon, we're going to put you in the waiting room. We're going to keep calling you in and out as we do with every single show.
No problem, buddy.
Without our chart sniper, as we've realized. Well, I want to carry on this discussion with you. You mentioned that you think it's going to go up again, and you sound pretty bullish, and you don't sound like this is the beginning of a long crypto bear market like the one we just went through. Why is everyone still so bullish after we've broken through every technical indicator? We've gone down a hell of a lot. We went down 50% on Bitcoin, and we've just recovered. Why is everyone so positive that we're still in this raging bull market?
It kind of is still within its logarithmic trend. So it's kind of just moving around within the range once you look at it in a log chart. So that kind of works for me. Also, you know, all of us got in the background the stock to flow idea and a whole bunch of other cycle stuff, and just kind of general technicals just suggest that it's just a correction mid-market. And in this year, if this is supposed to be the big year, then we should see some of these moves. And for me, I love these corrections because they're out of the way. Because then you can think, oh, okay, fine, don't need to think about that again. So we should, you know, it should just continue higher over time. So, you know, again, my projection for Bitcoin for the end of this year is north of 250,000. So I think we've got a lot of action to come.
What makes you think that north of 250,000 is quite a specific number? It's quite a specific figure. You're effectively saying that Bitcoin is going to 8x from where it is today in the next 6 months.
So
these dudes run a great show. Chat goes a million miles an hour when they're live. Yeah, it looks like it, hey?
Post-halving cycle, Bitcoin does roughly the same thing in the final year of the post-halving cycle. You generally get this big correction sometime in the summer, and generally it tends to 10x from there. So that's normal. If I look at the log chart projections, it gets me out to about 400,000 maybe on the upside by the end of the year, March of next year. Stock to flow ratio gives you the same kind of thing. So everything kind of suggests that. It looks crazy now, but Bitcoin's a crazy market, right?
So when you saw the market coming down 50%, at any point, I mean, this is, if I'm not mistaken, must be your most serious Bitcoin correction since you entered the ecosystem, right? I mean, have you seen a correction?
No, I started in 2013, early 2013 or 2012.
13, 12. Okay, so there was one correction that was bigger than that, or two.
Yeah, but I also went through an entire crypto winter.
Yes, like we all did.
Yeah.
Okay, so at no point did you have any concern? For you, it was like, okay, market's coming down. I'm a long-term hodler anyway. I'm not trading in and out.
No, because look, you know, everyone's heard me bore on about this all the time. Wall of money, right? It's not like it's a bunch of retail passing a bag to each other. It's actually real investors with real size buying every dip. And it's like, and most of them still haven't onboarded yet. So they've got all these institutions, they take fucking forever to get themselves set up. But once they get there, they will allocate capital over time. So all I know is there's more capital coming.
So Willy Woo posted a tweet when this correction happened. In the tweet, he said that he showed a chart of who was actually buying this. And he showed that the people that were actually buying the dip were no coiners, people that had never owned crypto before. Do you think that was institutional buying? You mentioned that it takes time for the institutions to get set up.
I think it's both, because there's a bunch of retail who look at the price and think, oh, it's too expensive for me, which is obviously silly because you can buy it in fractional. But a bunch of others were looking at it. My guess is a bunch of hedge funds pulled the trigger because they love stuff like that, right? There's a bull market. They understand there's all this money coming.
So they're talking about it, and they don't know that Elon had a big say in it, right? At this point, this is before the Elon candle.
Coming into it, and you're given the gift of a 50% correction in the middle of that with no real change in fundamentals, you take it.
Okay, now I know your background is like you're a hedge fund guy, you're a traditional finance guy, you've seen it all. The reason that was
I just, from a technical standpoint, I don't like the host's audio. It's really muffled, like really high on the bass. Yeah, I guess just from a technical standpoint, he should EQ his audio better.
For this correction, if you look at all the data kind of shows the market was
over-leveraged.
So you had a whole lot of people that took too much leverage on Bitcoin, on Ethereum, playing 10x leverage, got liquidated. That formed a spiral of other liquidations, and that's what caused everything to come down so quickly. And also to to chase away the weak hands from the market. Having seen that and seen the traditional world, do you think that this market is actually over leveraged? Do you think that the fact that the retail investor is playing in this, do you think this market is an over leveraged market?
He gets shit for the Wi-Fi he uses on audio. He uses Wi-Fi on audio? Wi-Fi? He just needs a microphone. I mean, he's got a lapel mic.
Market, but it's different. I mean, I know it's over leveraged because the guy who cuts my hair, young Filipino guy in the Cayman Islands, you know, him and all his mates are wildly punting, you know, 25x, you know, altcoins, and I'm like, wow. So that's fine. But what's different about it versus the traditional system?
Oh, Wi-Fi for streaming, right?
It's kind of over collateralized, so everyone gets stopped out. They laugh about it. It's very typical of the space. People, but basically joke about it. You see it all over, you know, Reddit as well. People find it funny. They kind of understand the risk they're running. So it's not like dumb retail who don't understand the risk. They know it's a punt and it's a mad punt. But if they get it right, they can make some good cash. So I get it, but it's also not systemic in the risk.
It makes his
it's
audio
not
go
like
weirdo.
Whales,
Right.
Huge leverage that then seeps into the banking system. It just doesn't work that way. So it's actually a lot better, a lot easier. So leverage is going to be a feature of this market, but it means we get a lot of volatility, which is also good because if you know where you are in the trend, you could be a buyer or a seller and take advantage of it.
I think I agree with you. Leverage is an unbelievable feature of any market. I mean, you can't deny that because it's actually what drives markets. But usually leverage is in the hands of sophisticated institutions, sophisticated investors. I mean, you don't see people, the average retail investor doing 100x leverage on, I don't know.
Because
Apple.
the difference is crypto doesn't have open-ended losses. It gets liquidated.
It gets liquidated, yes.
Yeah, in traditional markets, that doesn't happen. They kind of call you up and say, hey, guys, you owe us some margin. And you're like, well, I can't afford to. My house is for sale. I've just sold my wife because I've got a liquidation. So you have to sell assets. And that's what's called a margin call. Margin calls don't happen in crypto. They just automatically just close you out of the position.
Yeah, it's automatic liquidations. That's where most of the retail investors actually lose their money. They go in, they buy a Bitcoin, they own a Bitcoin, they put the Bitcoin up as collateral, and then they take 10x leverage on the Bitcoin, and then bang, they get liquidated, and then they're out of the market, and they kind of cave.
Are these messages coming up here? I might keep it this way. Are these all super chats, or are they just people messages that they're randomly choosing to put up there?
And
also those algorithms are pretty complicated, right? So, you know, I was kind of running a paper portfolio to try it out on BitMEX, and I got liquidated in a bull market when I was up. I'm like, well, that shouldn't happen. But it's just the mutualization of liquidation. It's kind of all a bit weird. I'm like, forget it. I just don't use leverage. It's a lot easier.
I take it that your thesis on Bitcoin remains the same, and I think everybody, if you want to hear Raoul Paul's thesis on Bitcoin, just Google his name and listen to one.
I'm bored of talking about it, so that's fine.
West Day Coaster, what time is it in Australia? It is 17 minutes past 5 in the PM. I'm not here at 5 a.m. Good to see you. Washington Coaster? West, I'm not sure. WA Coaster. I wonder the same. Seems to be random. Yeah, like I'm looking at that. There is a super chat up there. I know you guys can't see it, but there is one up there. But it just seems to be random ones that pop up.
The thesis, though, is the very boring part of the thesis is that the government.
Meanwhile, the trolls continue.
And for as long as they keep doing it, they devalue the dollar and they.
Actually, there is one person watching on the YouTube. If that was you that just followed or that just subscribed to the channel, thank you so much. We are over on D Live. If you want to come over here and have a chisel chat, you're welcome to. Washington Coaster. Washington. Okay. Right. Seattle. Okay, cool.
They revalue a whole lot of other assets, primarily stocks and limited supply.
Yeah,
assets.
and we're not talking about the dollar, like dollar versus the rand. We're talking the dollar as a currency, or even all fiat currencies, because we're seeing it because Europe's doing the same thing, Australia, the UK.
12:15
so
a.m.
It's that fall in the purchasing power of fiat currency.
Well, good morning.
Okay. Do you think that the governments could have done something better than they did, given the situation? Having closed down economies because they had to, because that was the accepted solution. Now, in hindsight, I mean, we all criticize them for printing so much money and giving so much stimulus and destroying the dollar and revaluing assets. Is there anything in hindsight that they could have done differently or should have done differently?
No. I don't think they didn't have any choice. Interest rates were pretty much at zero in most places.
Literally on the coast, Seattle is inland? Seattle is inland? Seattle's a port city. How can it be inland?
They had to do something because the whole world had shut down. So given the same choice, I think all of us would have done the same thing. I know there's a bunch of people on Twitter who say, the Fed, they should never cut rates. Yeah, well, try going through that and not cutting rates and seeing what it does to the global economy. It was already the worst recession in all recorded history. So, no, it is what it is.
What do you think their plan is now? I mean, when they sit at the Fed meetings behind closed doors, they're not stupid. I mean, I know that some people from the Fed follow me on Twitter. They know that we're complaining about the fact that money has been printed. What do you think their plan is? I mean, how do you it's easy to get money into an economy. How do you get the money out of the economy? What's the plan? What do you think their plan is?
The plan is not to get it out. They know they can't. So the idea is, how do you manage all of this without it blowing everything apart? So we've seen this, is we should have had, in that recession, everything should have fallen apart. Markets went down for a month and then went up like a rocket ship because they devalued the value of money.
Seattle is on Puget Sound. I'm on the coast. Yeah, but it's still coastal. What? Seattle's not an inland city. That's getting a little technical, right? Goodness me. But either way, good to see you.
So they've kind of got this mechanism. And what they figured out also is they can do direct transfer payments to people. So the government and monetary and fiscal policy have now combined. So it's a big thing. So how do they get out of this?
Dale, how you going, Dale? Seattle is slightly inland. Yeah, but the word was, I'm literally on the coast. Seattle is inland. If you tell that to someone who's never, like, I've been there. So if you tell that to someone who's never been there, they'd picture it to be landlocked, like an inland city. It's not. It's a coastal city. But technically, if you want to get super technical, okay.
Well, they kind of have to keep going. They hope that they can get enough inflation over 20 years to erode it away. And that's about it, really. I mean, they don't really have a choice.
Effectively, they're stealing from the future. They are, if you're talking about enough inflation for a couple of years, you're basically saying they're stealing from the future.
Yes, and also what
Jesse,
people can't get their head.
Thank you for the ice cream, Jesse. How you doing? G'day, Bannon. How you doing, Dale? Good to see you, man.
Around is this rise in asset prices means that you could buy a smaller house than you could have done a year ago because the value's gone up. And what are savings and investments? Future consumption. So somebody's robbed you of future consumption when you retire and you sell that house or that investment. And people don't understand why rising asset prices and the way that it's happening isn't a good thing. It's because everybody who's young is getting screwed here because everything's become more expensive to have an investment.
Good day. The night is
I read
swell.
something the other day, which Zero Hedge published,
Jesse.
and he published about something about the banks not taking enough money from the central banks. It had something to do with a reverse repo rate. Something about a flood of money that people actually weren't using, that's available, that they want to use to stimulate the economy, but that people aren't using. What is that all about? I mean,
basically, the financial system is kind of overcomplicated because of the regulation.
Looks like Seattle is in a big harbor to me. The coast is on the seafront. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna, yeah. Technically, it's a sound, Puget Sound, of course, but yeah, okay. Well, I mean, I don't want to get too specifics with the details, but if Seattle is an inland city, then I've been living everything wrong in my life. You could argue Sydney is also an inland city then, because, you know, there's a little bit of coast between it and there's a little bit of an inlet of a harbour. The coast is on the seafront. Depends on how one defines coast. I never thought that this would be a discussion topic, but the beauty of live streaming. Seattle is an inland. We need to get Coin Captain. Hey, anybody rouse up is Coin Captain live? We need to get CC in here to confirm this. Seattle is an inland city, folks. But it is. It's an inland city.
After 2008. So banks are very specific in what they're allowed to do with certain things, where their share price is, what their balance sheet's doing, what's happening. And so you can give them money, but they actually can't use it. And it's kind of weird. And the Fed created it to try and create buffers, but it also means that monetary policy doesn't work. In Europe, it's even worse. The banks are completely broken. And they're so hamstrung by all of this regulation, which is why they gave money directly, essentially, to the government, who gave it directly to individuals, because you need to bypass the banking system. That's what central bank digital currency is all about.
Sydney is way closer to the actual coast than Seattle is. So is there no seafaring vessels that can dock in at Seattle Harbor? Is that, if you're going to go to the technical definitions of a port city or a coast, can you dock a seafaring vessel in the harbor or in the port harbor of Seattle? If you can, it's a coastal city. Just like you can dock a seafaring vessel in the harbor of Sydney, that's a coastal city. I feel that much conflict among people is because people view words differently. Misunderstanding because of communication issues. Thanks to the sound, yes. So Puget Sound is the key here. So if you can dock a seafaring vessel in the harbor, that makes it a coastal city. Period.
It's bypassing the banking system because none of it functions.
Okay, so I mean, it's a bleak picture, and I know all of us on Twitter like to participate in talking about this bleak picture and rah-rah-rahing about how bleak the picture actually is. But you know, every time I've lived through these moments where people are passionate about the collapse of something, it seems to always recover. Do you think that there's any chance that this is really like the end of the dollar, or do you think that that's just a couple of 100,000 of us on Twitter all preaching about the end of the dollar, the end of the dollar, the end of the dollar? But in reality, the dollar's going to be here for the next 20 years and it's going to be okay. I mean,
yeah, I think the balance of probabilities are, if you went through the biggest economic crisis in all history with a massively levered
accuracy and clarity are important. This is true, Dalesky. Very true.
System, and it didn't fall apart. Okay, what is the end game? What more do you want? Thermonuclear war? So even I was very surprised. The economy was terrible, but what it did for markets and stuff. And we need to separate economies and markets. So, yeah, I just don't think that probability is there. Because devaluing the value of the dollar and magic, assets go up. Everything's fine.
WA Coaster. All right, I give up. Technically, we're on the coast, but I like to separate ourselves from that liberal cesspool. I mean, that's kind of like Australia, mainland Australia versus Tasmania. Do you guys know about the geography of Australia? Let's just take a quick look at a map here. Australia map. Check this out. Which one will be the easiest? This one here. So we got this little. See this little. This is Dom Dom. Dom Dom. Can we make it larger? Oh, that is larger over here. That's Anyway, this little landmass here is Tasmania. And it's obviously, well, back in the day, it was part of the landmass of Australia, but it's separated, Gondwana land, and well, you know, it's a funky place down there. They do their things their own way. Let's just say they, you know, what happens when you have a land mass that's separated by water? You know, if no one comes in, no one goes out, and they're breeding. Who are they breeding with? Themselves. So we call ourselves the mainland, and that's Tasmania. It's sort of the same as you with the cesspool of Seattle. Although I got to tell you, I don't find Seattle a cesspool. I've been there, and I think that maybe someone who's from Seattle would have something to say against that. CC, where's the coin captain? We need the coin captain up here. Let's continue.
It's the joke is the fact that everybody's actually getting poorer because of it, except the few who have all the assets already, which is why crypto is so interesting, right?
90% of people don't get that they're getting poorer every year, so they're okay with it. And the few people that have assets...
Well, they're not okay with it, as you've seen. Populism, they know they're getting screwed somewhere. They just don't know how. So the people on the left blame the people on the right. The people on the right blame, the immigrants. Everybody's blaming somebody, and they don't realize what's actually gone on.
Yeah. So Ray Dalio...
It's Seattle's fault. It's the Tasmanians that moved to Seattle. It's their fault. They're causing all the problems.
Consensus, he came out, he spoke about the fact that he's now... He owns Bitcoin, and that's, I think, what everybody was focused on. In fact, I want to play you the interview here. Let's quickly just play it for the guy that haven't heard it.
I don't know whether you guys have actually bought any Bitcoin, but I certainly know that you're interested in it. We've certainly.
I have some Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin's greatest risk.
I know you guys have really smoked this channel, Net TV, but their audio is crap. Look, they're playing a video here, and the audio levels aren't right. I refuse to fix it. I refuse to fix it in post. But listen to this.
For the guy that haven't heard it.
But I don't know whether
Listen to this difference in audio.
He spoke about the fact that he's now he owns Bitcoin, and that's, I think, what everybody was focused on. In fact, I want to play you the interview here. Let's quickly just play it for the guy that haven't heard it.
But I don't know whether you guys have actually bought any Bitcoin, but I certainly know that you're interested in it. We've certainly.
I have some Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin's greatest risk is its success.
I'm not touching it.
Because as it becomes more right now,
I refuse to fix their laziness.
Such a big deal, and fighting it is
for a channel with 319,000 subscribers. They could fix their audio.
That's it, because it's not that big a deal. As it becomes a bigger deal,
I refuse.
More of a threat. Let's say people want to sell their bonds, and they want to buy Bitcoin. And they want to do that in a bigger way, like buying gold or something in a bigger way. And then
although I do want to hear what he's saying.
They lose control over that. And that's an existential risk.
I guess I know we've both bought into this.
And now we're back to regular audio levels. It would be so simple just to have a level meter and go, oh, we got to fix that. I don't understand people that have, anyway.
Will replace gold one day, disrupt gold, replace gold. The more you listen to Michael Saylor, the more you realize that Bitcoin may actually replace...
I couldn't listen to him because he didn't turn the volume up.
Stocks, a large amount of stocks and a large amount of bonds. Do you agree with Ray Dalio that the growth of Bitcoin may become its own worst enemy?
Not a globe. How you doing, man? Seattle Port is 135 miles inland from the most northwest city, Forks. So we're going back down that avenue that the sound, even though it's a shipping lane, isn't coastal. Okay. How about good to see it, not a globe, but how about this? We leave it at that. We've decided that we don't want to be identified as the cesspool that is Seattle. That's more what we're looking at here.
Right
For fork's sake.
It's a $1 trillion asset class, which is not really disruptive.
I'll pay that,
But
Netsky's.
it's $5 trillion or $10 trillion. It's starting to threaten government bonds. People would rather put their money in Bitcoin than hold government bonds or corporate bonds. And then it actually does start to become a big threat.
I've always said this. Once it starts getting over 10 trillion.
What happens if you sail straight west from Seattle? You'll hit an island immediately. Very, very soon. You better have good navigation.
The governments really care. Are they going to stop it? Can they ban it at that point? No. But they care because it becomes a global asset class that matters. But don't forget, the equity market's like 200 trillion. The bond market's like 250 trillion. So this is noise still. And I know everyone thinks like Bitcoin, it's going to take over the world, but it's still minuscule. It's $1 trillion. I mean, it's nothing. So, he's right. People will care about it. If it does it too quickly, the governments will care about it. But if it goes up over time, they're fine with it. I mean, it's not like they care about gold. I know people say, "Oh, they're conspiring to keep down the price of gold." I don't believe that at all. But they've existed alongside gold forever, and it offers the same kind of way
Well, crypto hasn't existed alongside gold forever.
of getting out of the financial system. So I don't really think it's as big a deal, particularly if the financial system builds on it all. And by the way, I knew about this whole Ray Dalio thing 9 months ago.
You knew 9 months ago that he had bought Bitcoin, or that they had bought Bitcoin. Look, I think that a lot more people than we think have bought Bitcoin. I think a lot of them are sitting on the sideline. I mean, Facebook had a shareholders meeting. Everyone thought that they would announce that they were holding Bitcoin. Apple made, I don't know if they made an announcement, but they posted a job which had the word Bitcoin in it, and everybody speculated they're now going all in on crypto. I just know a lot of the conversations that I'm having with everybody. So you kind of know, because I get people reach out to me.
Oh, Dale. Crypto reminds him of, this is Dale speaking, reminds me of D-Live in a way. Amazing potential, however, lots of issues. Fair point, fair assessment, I suppose, if you want to. Yeah, potential. Okay.
I have conversations, and you kind of then suddenly it's announced over time. So everybody's looking at it. Everybody.
Are there still skeptics? Are there still in 2017? Everybody was a skeptic. In the beginning of 2021, there were very few skeptics. When I speak to people now, 1% of them are skeptics. Are you feeling the same thing when you hear the conversations? Are you feeling that right now we're over skepticism, and it's how am I going to do this? I've got to get through the regulatory hurdles. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to store it. Versus, no, I'm not going to touch Bitcoin. I don't understand it.
It was. I think you're right. I think we got to something like 10% skepticism. So I think
what was that?
We got to something like 10%.
What is that on the window behind? Can you guys see that? How far back does that go? Look behind.
That they would announce that they were holding Bitcoin.
Look up
Apple
here.
I don't know if they made an announcement,
Watch
but
this.
they posted a job which had the word Bitcoin in it, and everybody
Watch this. See my mouse?
speculated they're now
Watch
going
what happens
all
up
in on
here.
crypto.
I just know a lot of the conversations that I'm having with everybody. So you kind of know, because I get people reach out to me. I have conversations, and you kind of then suddenly it's announced over time. So
wait for it.
Everybody's looking at it. Everybody.
Are there still skeptics? Are there still in 2017? Everybody was a skeptic. In the beginning of 2021, there were very few skeptics. When I speak to people now, 1% of them are skeptics. Are you feeling the same thing when you hear the conversations? Are you feeling that right now we're over skepticism, and it's how am I going to do this? I've got to get through the regulatory hurdles. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to store it.
Here he goes. What's this?
Versus, no, I'm not going to touch Bitcoin. I don't understand it.
It was. I think you're right. I think we got to something like 10% skepticism. So I think
What was that? I thought he was on a green screen. What was that, folks? Jesse, I wasn't skeptical January 2021 investing. You weren't skeptical? Dick and Doris, morning from England. Good morning. Did you guys see that? What was that? Let me bring this up full screen. So I thought he was in a green screen. This guy, Raoul Paul, made a joke that this was his background, so he owns that bar, but this was not his. Technically, that's a green screen. I thought that was, and it looks like a green screen. What is that behind me? Let's go back. Watch this thing fall.
Hurdles. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to store it. Versus, no, I'm not going to touch Bitcoin. I don't understand it.
It was. I think you're right. I think we got to something like 10% skepticism. So
it looks like an umbrella. It looks like an umbrella.
You're right. I think we got to something like 10% skepticism.
What is that sort of like? Do you reckon it might be some kind of light proof, like a shade cloth to stop light coming in that door? Very strange. Very strange. It's kind of frightening, actually.
Versus, no, I'm not going to touch Bitcoin. I don't understand it.
It was. I think you're right. I think we got to something like 10% skepticism. So I think the ECB, the European Central Bank,
frightening.
Spread
Very
the
frightening.
ESG FUD. Because
it's his kid's flying dragon. Crikey. It's a ghosty. I wonder what that really was, though.
European investors have a mandate, an ESG mandate, and it's taken extremely seriously. So all the ECB had to say is, hey guys, look at what you're doing. This looks like it's a pollutant and it's dangerous for the environment. Are you sure you want to do it? Because the ECB wants to slow down adoption while they roll out their own central bank digital currency and get this kind of control, regulation of the system. So I think it's the ECB.
So what?
Jesse, I like to imagine it's Thursday night NFL and the drones and devices on strings are moving about. Okay. The drones and devices on strings. Cameras on strings? Those cameras that come down along the field? Is that what you're talking about?
What do you think the flow was between ECB and Elon? Because Elon broke the Fed, right? Elon was the center point of the Fed.
No, it came before.
Okay.
What happened is, don't forget, Elon is applying to be a part of the US carbon credit system, a new one that's being built. So how better can you do this?
Yeah, okay. Gotcha, Jesse.
By saying, if the US government said to him, hey, listen, you can't have all this Bitcoin and apply for this permit. And, or he thought he was going to get questioned about it. There's no better way than create more FUD around it, get the market to clean it up, and then he's able to just move forwards once the narrative's cleared. I think he knows what he's doing. And it was done on purpose, to get that credentials that he needs to be part of that, because Tesla's a large part of their revenues of these carbon credits, government subsidies. And also, he also knows that it's a red herring. I mean, he's not stupid.
Okay, I mean, you say he knows what he's doing, and you say, I think what you're alluding to is that he's very calculated in his approach. He's not. What do you make of him and Dogecoin? I mean, do you?
He's calculated.
I used to think that the Dogecoin thing was a game, but I mean, this game's going very far now. This is
It's not a game, and the reason being is he's figured out pretty quickly that anything can now have value in this world, right? If a bunch of people think it's got value, and these cryptocurrencies have all these attributes of being able to exchange things, buy.
That's literally the definition of where value comes from. People giving it value. Carbon tax credit equals we are the carbon they are taxing. Musk sold PayPal once upon a time. He knows more about macroeconomy than people like to attribute him. Good point.
Buy things with them, store things. And there's a joke one that happens to be a meme. Elon understands the meme economy, right? He's really into it. So he figures out, how funny is that? You take the worst ever coin, which is a joke. You then start adopting it and then buy a bunch of it. And then you would basically have your own Elon coin.
Crazy.
Now, he could then also have it for streaming payment system within Tesla. There's a number of things you can do with it when you have your own coin. He could raise capital because of it. So I think he's figured out pretty quick that if you have your own currency, you can be king.
But then if you're going to have your own currency, why not have your own
nobody
currency
alerted me to it. Whatever that was, it's back up there again. Look. That thing's back up. When did it go back up? Whatever that was. Is that whatever it was, they lifted it back up during this scene change. Sneaky little buggers.
Carbon.
He's looking at it in the side there.
So all the ECB had to say is, hey guys, listen, look at what you're doing. This looks like it's a pollutant and it's dangerous for the environment. Create more FUD around it.
I used to think that the Dogecoin
to be a meme. Elon understands.
Yeah, look, there's someone there now.
Right? He's really into.
There's someone there now fixing it. Best green screen ever. I genuinely thought it was a green screen. It's not though. Look.
Have value in this world, right? If
What's
a bunch
this?
of people think it's got value, and these cryptocurrencies have all these attributes of being able to exchange things, buy things with them, store things, and there's a joke one that happens to be a meme. Elon understands the meme economy, right?
It's a light block. They're blocking out light. No, not a window cleaner, Net TV. They put that back up there to block the light coming in.
Really into it. So he figures out, how funny is that?
And that's why he's cutting the scenes.
You
little
take
sneaky
the
little
worst
bugger.
ever coin, which is a joke. You then start adopting it, and then buy a bunch of it, and then you would basically have your own Elon coin.
Crazy.
Now, he could then
I'll tell you what, this gentleman's doing a good job keeping it together while that thing's going on in the background.
also have it for streaming payment system within Tesla. There's a number of things you can do with it when you have your own coin. He could raise capital because of it. So I think he's figured out pretty quick.
Done a good
that
job.
if you have your own currency, you can be king.
But then if you're going to have your own currency, why not have your own currency that's technically very sound?
Because it had already been adopted by the masses. So millions of people are using it and they think it's amusing. How much publicity does that give him for his own currency? It's
I
great.
like that guy's floor and bar better anyway.
Whether
Yeah,
it
me
works
too.
or not.
Floor looks
Are
rad.
you saying, am I hearing you right here? Are you saying that you would consider investing in Doge?
I own Doge.
You own Doge?
Yeah.
Good. Raoul Paul just said on Crypto Banter that he owns Doge. My producer says we all do.
Galen, how
Am
you
I
doing,
the
man?
only guy
Everybody
that-
does. Find me somebody who doesn't.
How you doing?
We all do because it's fun.
So you think that this Dogecoin is actually it's a serious thing. It's a real thing.
I have no idea. So I'll trade it like a call option. I have a small position in it because it's fun.
Hang on. His is real? Hang on, Net TV, both of these backgrounds are real.
To see what happens with this because we don't know what the outcomes are. We don't. So it could end up being something massive. I mean, Mark Cuban, he started accepting it as payment for Dallas Mavericks merchandise and tickets. So now it's got payments. It's got millions of people invested in it. So what happens if Tesla builds an application? Now it's got application, an exchange, and investors. You've got an ecosystem, a network, and that's valuable.
Wow, okay. Is your position in Doge significant? I mean,
No.
No,
The smallest position I've got.
The smallest position you got. Okay, so what I'm getting the feeling here that you're actually an altcoin degen. I mean,
I'm not a degen because I don't trade them.
No. I mean, yeah, but you're a degen. I mean, if you're holding Dogecoin, hold on, just wait. I remember that in the beginning,
Yeah,
you
Net
only
TV, that's
spoke
right.
about Bitcoin.
The Raoul Paul guy said, at least mine is real. And then he said, yeah, that's true. But if this is a green screen, if the host has a green screen, that would be a stationary image. You wouldn't have that crap going on in the back. You wouldn't use a video as the background unless there was asteroids and space shuttles and stuff flying around in the background. That's just a photo of a lounge room. But it looks real. I mean, yeah. Why would you put a video behind you? I reckon they're both real.
You were only a Bitcoin speaker. Then I remember that you had the epiphany that ETH.
Some of
was
us have
actually just
nice
another
houses, no
network,
green screen
and it was
needed.
a cheaper network.
This
on
hotel
a
room's
relative
fine.
basis than Bitcoin. I remember that tweet storm. We actually covered it on the show. And then I remember that
Seems a little strange, you're right? It does, doesn't it?
You said to me, I'm gonna put
The trolls
a small
continue
part of
on
my
YouTube.
portfolio into alts. What alts should I be buying? How does your portfolio look now from a breakdown? How much is in Bitcoin? How
See?
much is in ETH?
Again, another follow on YouTube, another subscriber on YouTube with no one watching the YouTube stream. Hello, trolls! YouTube, you got a great system going on there.
And how much is in degen?
Yeah, first you need to understand why was I doing that, right? And in traditional markets, once the established trend takes place, you move out the risk curve. So from Bitcoin being like government bonds, and then you go to Ethereum, which is like corporate bonds, and then you go to junk bonds, which is all of the other stuff, right? And then private sector lending. That's a risk curve.
Thank you, YouTube.
So I'm just
right.
moving out the risk curve because the trend's established. And I know that in a
Yeah,
bull
but
market,
those are the kind of subs that, like, in 8 months' time, YouTube will be like, "Oh, we're doing a culling of all the bots," and then be like, just you drop right off, right?
ETH will outperform Bitcoin and alts will outperform ETH. Now, the ETH Bitcoin bet is easy because we know ETH.
I want to check into that hotel. Sweet Jack bottles included, right on. And they keep changing too. The maid comes in and changes them.
It's a giant. It's got massive network adoption, at least twice the rate of the network adoption of Bitcoin. And we've seen the whole rise of DeFi, NFTs, everything on top of ETH. So it's a great bet. So I'm 55% ETH, 25% Bitcoin, and 20% alts. So I got to that alts thing. Why did I ask that question? I wasn't asking. I didn't care who shilled me anything. I wanted to see which coin. Go on.
You wanted to see consensus. You wanted to see what the masses were talking about. You wanted to gauge social sentiment.
Yeah, and network effects.
I'm in love with your maid,
You
Bennett.
wanted to see what networks are stronger. So that was the start. So I picked a basket of the bigger ones of those and just took an equally weighted basket. I've got no clue whether Cardano's going to work or Polkadot's going to work and get network adoption. Literally have no idea. So I don't take a bet in that. I just took a bet in a bunch of them, figuring that if we're in altcoin season, this stuff's going to go up 5x that Ethereum goes up.
Talk me through the process. So I remember the tweet. I actually made a portfolio for you. I'm going to try and get the portfolio online today. I tweeted it at you. I said, hey, we've made your portfolio. This is what you should be buying. I'm actually very interested to know how that portfolio is doing, by the way.
I had 11,000 replies to that tweet.
Okay. So you took 11,000 replies. By the way, I know you think that that's good, but Sheldon had 11,000 marriage propositions today because you get 11,000 replies. What do you do then? And how do you build an altcoin portfolio from that point?
I basically kind of just perused through that for a few days, saw what was coming up a lot, wrote them all down in a list, went to CoinMarketCap, took a list. No, I actually even easier. I went to the brokerage that I was using, took a list of which ones I could trade from that were larger in market cap and just bought them. And it was as simple as
the reason why you went for larger in market cap, because you said, I want liquidity. In the event that I want to trade out of it, I want liquidity.
No, I just thought, I don't know anything about these other ones and how speculative they are, but I know there's serious money and stuff within.
He's sounds like a FOMO guy, right? I just did it because everybody else was doing it, and I know that there's money in it.
The Polkadot ecosystem and the investor base, stuff like that. So
no research.
Nothing complicated, just like a relatively bunch of blue chips in this space. But then after that, I've been going more DGen in other stuff.
You have been going more DGen in other stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about your. I'm just having a look here to see if that portfolio is still live. Let's talk about the big cap altcoins that you bought in your altcoin portfolio. You mentioned Polkadot.
Yeah.
Have you done enough research? Do you know enough about the parachains, or you just bought this purely on sentiment and on volume?
Purely on sentiment and volume, and I wanted a bit of DeFi. I wanted a bit of exchanges. I wanted a bit of protocol, so I just did a basket. So I had obviously at top level, I kind of know, was this a serious project or not? So you are kind of right.
Jesse, I wish I could be that careless investing.
But a bunch of these I don't have.
But I have the cash, I guess.
I would never buy bird money.
Yeah, so I'll tell. I mean, I made this for you back then, and even after this correction, that portfolio is up 125% since I made it for you. I put in Chainlink, Polkadot, Arweave. What I did was I tried to mix some big ones and some small ones for you. And you can see at the time the entry price, for example, on Terra was 92 cents. I actually created that, and that portfolio is up 124%. It was up much more, but obviously with the correction, that's what happened. It's ironic. It's been on our website. We actually log all our calls on our website so that people can't call us out afterwards for saying, you didn't tell us, or you did tell us, or you shouldn't have told us. We're accountable. So we have it here on our website. You can go and have a look at it. It's Crypto Banter Calls. That's pretty much where it is. It's the portfolio I made for you back then when you tweeted. I'm interested to know how this portfolio did relative to your actual portfolio that you bought.
So I'm trying to think, because I haven't looked at it since the correction. I don't check my P&L on this, but at peak, it was probably up 285%. So it's probably up still 150.
So more or less the same. All right, so let's talk about the coins. Polkadot, what else is in there?
Well, but there's Aave, and there's synthetics, and there's sushi, and there's just the usual stuff. Cardano. No, there's nothing that people go, oh my God, Raoul Pal owns this. There's some other stuff that I'm more interested in.
Who is Raoul Pal? Should I know who he is? Who is he? What's he famous for?
On Twitter.
So one of our comments says, Raoul Pal, we anoint you the king of degens.
Chainlink seems like a good one, even though it's down right now.
And I've never traded any of it. So I just bought it and held it. So I haven't traded anything, and I'll just run it like that.
That's how I do it.
The reason why you don't trade, is that because you fundamentally are taking a view and you don't think that you can outsmart market timing, or is it just because you don't have the bandwidth?
Actually, having run hedge funds and traded a lot my whole life, in a market like this that's very volatile, you tend to screw it up by short-term trading it because you get stopped out when you should be adding and stuff like that. So I know if something's going to go up 10x or 20x or 50x, what's the point in trying to eke out even more? And it just frees your mind that you can just leave it. It's different if you think, oh, it's going to go up 10% this year. Can I turn that into 15%? That's a whole different game. It's just not worth it here. It's just like in an exponential move, just buy and hold and go to the beach.
Yeah, I guess that's similar to the Michael Saylor thesis around Bitcoin, where he says, why should I go out and farm for 6% when I'm making my thesis? I'm going to make hundreds of percent.
Yeah, I don't do any DeFi. I've invested in some protocols, but I don't do
Anybody
any
know
DeFi
who he is?
Because
Like,
my point is, I don't
should we
really
know who
the
Raoul
risk,
Pal is?
and I don't care about 6% yield.
You know what I think? I think that, first of all, DeFi is not really about 6% yield. There's much higher yield, but you have to know exactly what you're doing, and it's a full-time job. I think there's an evolution, and it's all about how much time and effort you want to spend versus time and effort you want to spend somewhere else. It starts off with Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is the safest investment. And then you dip your toes into ETH, and then people follow the same path that you and I followed, where then we start going into major altcoins. And I guarantee you that in 3 months, when we get you back on the show, you'll be asking me for allocations in brand new ICOs, because that is the thing. But I think there's a lot more money in DeFi. It just requires a lot of concentration. I know people that on stable coin returns are generating 70% yield per annum. And that is because they're actively farming a yield. Now,
but you don't know what the full cycle risk is. And I keep talking about this and people don't listen. You have no idea what the actual finalized yield is going to be. So it looks good now. We don't know. So for me, it's like, I don't need to do it. And I get it. Some people can do it really well. I know a bunch of people who do this amazingly in DeFi, but it's too complicated, too much hassle, when I can just buy and hold and make myself a cocktail.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm just curious here. Pray5 Study with the follow. Hey, Pray5, thanks for following the Gives a Minute D live stream. Now that makes you the latest giver right here on the channel. Now, why would this make you a giver? Well, let me explain. You see, you're giving me your time to consume the content, whereas me, I'm a giver because I'm giving you my time to create the content. And so you see how we're both givers here, and this is a two-way street. But you're the latest giver on the Gives a Minute D live stream. Thanks for the follow. So you said former Goldman Sachs executive Raoul Pal now has 98% of his net worth in crypto. Interesting. Dalesky, 98% is very foolish. Yes, I said it. There you go. You fool. I wanted to do something here. Let me just have a look at some of these comments from people. I'm just wondering, why can't I click visit channel on this in their chat over here? I'm just trying to why can't I click go to their channels? Crypto Beck. Isn't that the way you go and visit channel? Click those 3 dots. I'm just wondering if they're getting spam bots here. Because I can't click any of the channels here. When you go on a live stream, can't you normally click, or is that only during a live stream? Interesting. Doesn't matter.
Buy and hold and make a cocktail. What cocktail would you make? I mean, if you were making a cocktail, what would it be?
My kind of go-to cocktail here when I got friends over is a Hemingway daiquiri, which is white rum, a bit of fresh lime juice, fresh grapefruit juice, and a bit of either sugar syrup or triple sec to add to it.
My producer's sitting here doing this. Freddie, you can go back.
Thank you, Pray5 Study.
Get into the news
Thank
just
you.
because we've got to cover the news. Big news yesterday. Apple's job announcement that they need someone. Let's actually call it up. It said, Freddie, if you can get rid of the comment, it would help us a lot to read the summaries here. It says it said something about you need to know something about Bitcoin. It's about financial services. Do you think that Apple Pay is actually getting into Bitcoin? Do you think Apple's getting into Bitcoin?
Jesse, you think you're foolish? A sixth of your wealth and you're foolish? Dale Bold says 50% maximum in any one investment type. Personally, I'm 20% across 5 different investment types. You're no fool.
You speculate there.
Apple, I don't know at corporate treasury level whether they've got across the line yet, and there's reasons why. It's about accounting and how you hold it on your balance sheet. So I don't think they're there yet. Apple Pay is different because obviously Square and PayPal are in it. Apple don't have a choice. So of course.
Why do you say that there's financial issues with holding Bitcoin for a company like Apple? How is that different from a company like MicroStrategy or Square?
They all have it. It depends whether you're able to have the volatility on your quarterly earnings. Now, because Square being, Jack Dorsey's vehicle and basically MicroStrategy can do whatever Michael wants to do, they're prepared for that on their balance sheet. Something like Apple that is owned by so many people, and suddenly the volatility of your earnings is driven by your Bitcoin holdings, that kind of upsets investors. Now, it means that they need to make an accounting standard change, which
by 2030, Dale, you will own nothing and be happy.
And then once they do that, they can kind of keep it off balance sheet, so you can mark to market once a year or whatever, and then you don't have to have all the volatility of Bitcoin on your balance sheet.
We know
Land,
that
stocks, crypto, metals,
corporates are looking to buy Bitcoin, and that's the foot in the water. But it seems now that the volume of Ethereum is much bigger than the volume on Bitcoin. It seems like the funds, the traditional guys are waking up and they're saying that the volume on Ethereum is actually starting to eclipse the volume of Bitcoin. Do you think that corporates are starting to wake up to Ethereum as much as Bitcoin? I get the thesis of protecting your cash in Bitcoin, but do you think that some of them are starting to actually enter ETH and saying,
well, you've got to say which part of a corporate. So if it's a corporate balance sheet that looks to protect the cash the firm has earned, well, Ethereum doesn't really play a role there yet because its narrative is not about the store of value. Bitcoin's an easy thing to put in instead of a bit of gold or instead of a bit of whatever, right? ETH doesn't really fit into those portfolios yet. Now, maybe after ETH changes and we get through ETH 2.0 and it becomes a, lower supply asset, it's a harder asset, and maybe the narrative changes. So I don't think it's necessarily going to go on corporate balance sheet.
Dale says, Net TV, that's all good. I plan on checking out late 2029, dead and gone. Wow, you got a plan. You got a pretty well planned out life there. I want to be incognito by 2030, dead and gone-ish, Jesse. Crikey. I want to still be surfing in 2039.
Unless it's corporations who will be using ETH for future development, which is, we're starting to see. We saw Reddit using Ethereum to build out their token system. So I think we're going to see it, but for different purposes.
I know you're a massive fan of network effects. I know that you're a massive fan of Metcalfe's law. You keep talking about it and you keep talking. I think you're really one of the people that really understand the network effects in the game. Network effects also dictate that there's not going to be many networks that do the same thing, right? So you often say like one chain should win or two chains should win when it comes to smart contracts. Do you think that there are going to be many smart contract chains in the future? Or do you think that there's going to be one or two and they're going to absorb most of the network?
I mean, usually everything works the 80-20 rule, right? Which is Pareto's law, that 20% will capture 80% of the economics. I don't see why that wouldn't play out over time here. Because, we're humans. If I'm a corporate and I need to build a blockchain solution for my business, am I going to choose a protocol? Am I going to choose Hedera or am I going to choose Ethereum if my job is on the line? I'm going to go to my boss and say, well, I've chosen Ethereum because it's the biggest and most liquid, right? It just accrues, it accrues that way. Now, there can be step changes. Things can change. But generally speaking, it works that way.
Amazing. Listen, I know that you've got a call. I know that you mentioned that you've got a hard stop. So first of all, thank you. I think it's been great fun. It's been great fun seeing the other side of Railpool, not the story that everyone's heard a million times, talking to you about more current things. I actually want to invite you again to any time to speak about news, current affairs, basically just chit chat about what's happening on the markets. I think the community.
You didn't ask me where I'm allocating to in alts, and so my answer to that is community and social tokens, the metaverse. That's where I think.
Cancel your call.
That's where I think this is all going.
Cancel your other call. Let's quickly talk about that. So community, metaverse, and
that's basically community and metaverse are the two macro bets that I'm actually taking within the alt space. The other's not a macro bet, it's just a basket, right? It's just a dumb money basket.
Interesting he didn't mention NFTs.
But I'm starting to take bets on where I think this is all going.
I kind of think the NFT thing is a little bit played out at this point, but interesting that he didn't mention it.
Which I think it's all going to be, the really big consumer applications are going to be both metaverse and social tokens.
Give me some examples of social tokens.
No, they're too small, too illiquid, and I don't want to be a shiller. So I don't really want to do it.
We degens. But when you talk about community, without saying the name of the token, give us an idea of what you mean by a community token and by a metaverse.
Well, the bigger one that's more liquid that people know about is Chili's.
Yes. Okay.
I mean, that's every major football club in the world is using that as a way of running their entire fan base. Now, that's going to happen to music artists. You will end up tokenizing. I will end up tokenizing. Real Vision, everything is going to be, every community is going to be tokenized.
Would you buy my token? I mean, if I tokenized and I gave you a SAFT, would you take an allocation?
Probably not.
No. Fred, what is he? Which token is he talking? He's told us it's a small cap, which is similar to Chili's. We need to dig deep because Raoul Paul's invested in a small cap. When you talk about metaverse, I mean, talk to me about metaverse. I'm assuming you're talking about NFTs when you talk about metaverse.
Cheese is up 20. I'm not even sure what that one is. Is that Chili?
About the decentralized, the sandboxes, the Red Fox Labs, the Axie Infinity, all of this stuff that they're building out a world in.
Interesting.
Wow. Okay. Amazing. Listen, I know you've got a hard stop, so I don't want to keep you. I know you have a call. Thank you. Thank you for coming on to Crypto Banter. Thank you for sharing all your deep insights and your altcoin bags and everything else. As I said, love to have you back here talking about news, talking about chit chat, stuff that's going on in the market. Fred will be.
Yeah. And also, if people want more stuff, go to Real Vision Crypto, and there's tons of free content there about all of this stuff, with all the interviews with all of the founders of all of these projects.
You guys, these guys have interesting perspectives, Dale. I agree. I like this. My only critique here is the technical presentation is bunk. He needs to fix that audio immediately. And someone of such a high caliber, of such a huge channel, should have that shit down by now. I can't understand why he hasn't, but
everything is all there.
And you can also get the Raoul Paul story again if you missed it.
Very cool.
The last 8,000 times it's there. There is a description in the YouTube link. There's a description at the bottom of the YouTube. Go to Real Vision. I mean, there's a lot of value there. There really, really, really is a lot of value. I think is it free or is it $1?
Real Vision Crypto is free. The rest is $1 for a trial, and you get crypto and everything else added in, and it's $250 a year. But crypto's free, so knock your socks off. Go there.
All right, guys, let's show Raoul Paul how the strength of this community. I'll tell you, we featured a book here 2 weeks ago. That book is now a bestseller. We featured a trading app here, and that trading app has crashed because it's got too many users. So guys, let's go break the Real Vision site. It's in the description of YouTube. Just go there, smash it, break the site. Let's make Raoul Paul build another site.
Did he put that in there?
Love it.
He did.
My friend, see you soon.
Take care.
Okay, thank you, my friend. That was a lot of fun. Guys, I hope you had fun. I'll see you guys again at 6 a.m. tomorrow with Sheldon Show. 10 a.m. tomorrow with... Oh, tomorrow's Banter. Yeah, Friday's Banter. So who's coming on to Banter? George, Elio, Wolf, Biz, me. We need a woman, Fred. We said no. It's too much testosterone, bro.
He needs a camera on his producer. If he's going to keep looking over there and talking to him, he needs just a GoPro or something to show him. And also, if he's got a producer, how come his producer's not switching for him?
We need females in the banter.
Look at me. I'm not even talking about any of the crypto, just the technical presentation of the stream. Because I'm jealous of when I see streams. Like, I'm always intrigued how people do it, different to what I do.
Okay, guys, if we can't find a female guest to put onto Banter, we're bringing Irina. Irina's going to be here on Banter tomorrow. You'll see Irina
Man, that
on
audio
the
is
Friday
so
Banter
bad.
with Elio, with George, with me, with Biz, with Wolf. You know, we haven't had Kyle. Irina says she'll see you tomorrow. Go, Irina. Go, Irina.
That's brilliant.
Is that who he's talking to? Is that his producer? Right. I thought that was another. Presenter on the show, but that's the producer.
All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow, 6 a.m. EST, 10 a.m. EST. Until then, much love for you guys. Had lots of fun with you guys. Guys, we got Raoul Paul to say that he holds Dogecoin. I mean, that's going to become a meme. I can see Fred's already cutting the video. Yeah, it was a great show. Freddie, well done for organizing, Raoul. Leah, Sheldon, all the guys that made it happen. Well done. Guys, see you tomorrow. Love you guys. See you guys all tomorrow. Until then.
So that's not his producer. The new guy is Sheldon. Let's just have a quick look at this Real Vision crypto site that he said. Accept the cookies. Benon, you have an eye for presentation. You'd make a great movie director. Oh, thanks, Dale. Thanks, man. I'm still busy trying to set up what I want to do with interviews. I've got an idea, and I'm just sort of, dare I say it, I'm stuck in the tech of it. I'm a little stuck in the. I gotta sneeze. Wahoo! Well, that came out of nowhere. Yeah, I'm a little stuck in the technicalities of it because I've got the idea of what I want to do with interviews, and I know I've talked about it for a long while. I kind of left it for a bit because I got so frustrated that I couldn't do what I wanted to do, and I just kind of pushed it aside. And I pursued Mayonnaise! Wow! Lord Kaltenberg, how you going, Lord Kaltenberg? Good to see you, man. As long as Gibbs wears lipstick, he can do anything. Maybe I should bust out the lipstick. Jesse, thank you for the ice cream. Photography probably taught you a lot. Totally. The whole thing, like setting up this stream setup and the backlighting and the front lighting, everything is all using my photography skill, 100%. But I've got this idea for how I want to do interviews and just kind of stuck for a little while. I re-looked at it today, actually. I pulled all the gear out and I was like, nah, I should be able to do this. And I still got to the same stuck point. So I've got to sort of finesse that, I suppose. Sponge in the house. G'day, Sponge. As long as Sponge comes and licks Gibbs' forehead, he'll be happy. I salute that. Folks, we are going to wrap this up, though. Wednesday's crypto streams. This actual crypto stream was a little more relaxing on me. I'm normally coming out of these like my mind's just completely warped from all the information. Maybe it was just the crypto banter just was a little more relaxing by the end there. I kind of enjoyed watching them chat and talk about what they were doing and looking at all the technical aspects of their stream setup. But today, yeah, we did look into why does your energy from frozen TRX change, and I will be looking at upgrading and buying some more TRX as soon as I've dealt with all these bills for the next 2 months. We'll deal with that crap and then we'll come back and maybe we'll buy some more TRX so that we can free some. But folks, we are going to wrap this up. We got 21 Yahoos watching the content right now. Who's live on the Machines of D who would appreciate a 21 viewer host? I'll let you Yahoos decide who we host, and while you're doing it, I want to thank the financial contributions to the content. I do this full time, as you're well aware. I appreciate when you contribute to me. It helps me to deal with this crap when it comes up. So I thank you for patting me on my back in this stream and in any stream whenever you contribute to me. I want to thank you. When you look to your own chit chat, you can see the top contributors to this particular stream. Gerantium, Zuxki, and Jesse, right there, the top three. You got them. Geranism, I can't say your handle. Geranism, Zuxki, and Jesse. Thank you for the contributions that you Yahoos have made today. Who are we going to host? Did anybody put a suggestion, a requirement, a request? Let me see. Who did the little request? Anyone in the Chisel chat? Grimsky's the only one I can see who's live. We hosted him last night. We hosted Grimsky last night. We should host someone else. Nate Smokes. Haven't hosted Nate Smokes for a long time. Who else is live on the sidebar here? King B, CDK, Switchblade Bandit, Mr. Bomb, Grimsky, Aria's JRS, Cali Meatwagon, Nate Smokes, and Ms. Lolo.
Wow! Mayonnaise! Wow!
Maybe Ms. Lolo. Sigma the Majestic. G'day, Britain. How you doing? Sigma the Majestic. Can you put a little link to their channel? Britain, Sigma the Majestic. I guess I could try to find it by going up here. Oh, I could go to the search even. Sigma the Majestic. Here we go. I got it. Thank you, Jesse, for the donations there. Sigma the Majestic's been live for 50 minutes. Let's grab the handle. Let's pop it in over here. This is going to give us a confirmation right here, folks. That's going to be the confirmation. Once I click that, we'll be hosting Sigma the Majestic. So my stream's going to come to a conclusion. It's going to say Gives a Minute is offline and hosting Sigma the Majestic. There'll be a yellow bar. Top of the screen, it'll say Visit Channel. You've got to click that bar, otherwise you'll still be in my channel. When you click that, you go to his channel. When you do that, put the words Feel the Gives Love. Let him know where you're coming from. That's what I'm going to do, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Call in with Safe if he's up for it still.